Oh, that's killing me. Hello, English Bull, Eli. 15 on, 7 thumbs up. Don't forget to come on. Welcome back. Freedom, thank you for everything. Go and purchase some coffees. Can you check to see if you got Paul Cresswell? Yes, she's doing that now. Paul Cresswell, hello, mate. Rob, evening, mate. Just wait for someone to come on. There. Shave. You have to put a bit of tissue on when you get a cut yourself. Get off. A bit of tissue. The only thing it does it, isn't it? A bit of tissue or paper, newspaper. It just absorbs the blood and it blots it up too quick. Or if you put it like a cloth on it, just keeps bleeding. The throat's even bad. You can hear me on my chest. Terrible. Steve Mack, hello, brother. Dave Evenden, hello, mate. DR Barbsby. DR Barbsby. Yeah. Rob Paul. Freedom's on there. Rob, are you alright, Rob, son? Glenn Monmouth. Christmas. I must remember the Christmas trees. Steve Mack there again. Good lad. Anthony Lunn. Are you up, right? Are you up, man? Glenn Copp. I haven't seen you for a bit, Glenn. We've been away or something, son. Seen him for ages. That Dr. Barbsby. I don't know. Dave Evenden, then I say I've got that. And my side, it's all my right side here. It blows up like for no reason. I'm sat here and it started to go up already, and it just goes up like it's like putting air in a tire. It just starts blowing up like that. It's just fucking terrible. I've got at these doctors back and forth now for like over 30 months, I think it is. And they still haven't got a clue. They're fucking useless at North East. They're absolute garbage. So I'm still waiting to see a fucking physio. They sent the physio. I said, what it is? I said, my calcaneus is really bad. He went, what's that? I looked at him, I thought, you don't even know that? You've been a physio for 7 years. The woman's I've been one for 8 years. I said, where I'm really hurt, I said, is in the intercostals here, my sartorials and my obliques. You've lost me. I'm fucking hell, they're just basic things. I went, well, if you don't know them, it's a waste of time coming. If you don't even know what their muscles are. So you can't even tell what the muscles here keep your rib cage together. Your intercostals, your sartorials and stuff. Sometimes when you're boxing, you get caught and it nips, oh fucking hell, it hurts like mad because the rib pushes in and nips the muscle. So you get a swelling there. It feels like it's broke. But yeah, so didn't have a clue. I knew more my fucking self. Puppy power. Paul Spanton, hello, mate. My eyes are getting worse, I have to get some glasses. Trap Mafia, hello, son. Darling Delights, hello there. Welcome to the chat. Timmy B, a great lad, Timmy B. Steve Mack, I hope Amelia's doing good. You both of you and the little dog. Love yous both. Love yous three. 3 of yous. Not count. Love 2 of yous. I'll be racist for her. So the dog. Great lad, Steve. Lovely lad he is. He knows me since he's a kid. All them like top fighters now, like yourself and that. And all like Salim and all them people. All knew me as kids, say. And I was always good to all them kids, and like the big kid, the lad who stayed with me for 5 years. His mum threw him out. He had nowhere to live. So I took him off the street. I brought him in. He stayed at my house for 5 years. He called me dad, even to this day. Even Steve Mack will tell you that. And then Steve Harland, another great kid. He was with me the night I had the fight. He went through the fight. Him and Steve were talking. They come here. But it was great seeing all the younger lads, the ones I looked after me years ago. And he was telling Steve the fight. He said, oh, yeah, the right, he's this Iceman. He said he was nearly 7 foot tall, Steve. He's about 24 stone. Monstrous in Brian. Hit him one right uppercut. Just dropped, hit this table and smashed it in about 1,000 pieces. This is the one where that idiot's pretending it never happened. So I've had Chris Curry on. Well, I saved Chris's life that day. We actually went to jail for that. Got done, so we went to jail. And while I was in jail, they had the armed response there. and the lads from another area come round and blew the windows out with shotguns. So they had to move them then to up the lakes. We found out through later on, we didn't know straight away. And then when it went to court, they moved them to Surrey Quays, down to London, for this big firm. But apparently this Iceman, he was from Alabama, ex-army, and he was in really fit. But then he went into the bodybuilding and started taking all the steroids, got massive. But he was on a couple of adverts, TV adverts, and he came over here and he was working for the Russian mafia down in London. And his missus was a prostitute, and she was running the prostitutes. He was looking after them. Apparently, he ripped them all off, so he came up here out the fucking way. So the Russian mafia. But before he came here, he was looking after their yardies in Jamaica, and he grassed 44 of them up. So they moved him to Nottingham at first. So I get the story right. And now she was from Billingham, where Chris Curry's from, this lass, and her stepson. So what he was doing, they were going out. She was getting fixed up with blokes, bringing them back to where the son was in a hotel. He was coming with a knife, robbing them at knife point, and getting them done, and robbing them, taking the money off them. Robbery. One night did it. Next minute, whistle, blew, doors all coming, everything. Got him, fucking nicked the both of them. She got 2 years, and he got 5 years for the threats because he had a. I don't know if he had a knife or a gun or something, and he threatened whether it was undercover policemen. So they trapped them and got them. So he got jail. When he went to Nottingham jail, Nottingham where he got jail, I don't know if he went, it was there, Doncaster somewhere, wherever he was at. He ended up meeting this black lad in there, and he was fucking huge. And Matt Johnson, our mate, used to go to Cockerill. So she then met this bloke, and then she went to London with him, and she started running the prostitutes. And there were the Yardies, not the Yardies, the Russians. So the Russians were looking for them, so they fucked off to Billingham. So I've gone to do this debt collector lad called Danny. He owed him £1,700, this lad. So the Iceman's there, but his stepson was called Allenson, Dave Allenson, from that way. Pakistani, his dad. Lad. He's a half caste, that black, white. His mum's white, his dad Pakistani. And he borrowed this money off a lad called Danny, who was in the army. He did two tours in Iraq. So me and Chris went and got the debt and said, look, you owe him £1,700. He said, oh, yeah, I'll meet you. So we went to go to his house, but there was kids in the street, and we seen Gail. And then we seen Gail's brother, because I saved him, he got shot. He got shot, and I picked him up on the fucking roadside. He was shot over an old road, it was called. The signpost, he got shot. And I picked him up and put him in the car. I saved his fucking life, that kid. So I knew there'd be no trouble with him. You know, just go and see. He said, just tell him what's happened tonight and say he needs to pay the money back. So he's supposed to pay £50 a week, this lad back. So anyway, next minute, don't forget push the like buttons, guys. So next minute, Chris said, I'll go. And I said, you go and take a look, because there's loads of kids in the garden. And I said, don't go knock on the door, there's kids. So he's got down this Iceman. Now Chris is about 5'7", 5'8". This fucker's like up here. Fucking monster. I was big. Anyway, he's fucking huge. And his fucking arms like that. Fucking huge, but he had skinny legs. That's your downfall. If you've got massive upper body and no legs, you've got no foundation. It's like having a house. If the fucking foundations are weak, the house will just cave in. So anyway, he stood on the front shot. Now I'm not fucking scared of you. So I thought from the distance he had a machete, but it wasn't. It was a little samurai sword. So anyway, he's fucking shouting at Chris. Chris was in the car with me, the other Chris Arm. There was a young lad, because I was banned then. And he was a little, all he was a little, delivered pizzas from a pizza shop. So he gave me a lift over, because he was on his lunch break. So we drove down, and Danny was with us, the army lad. And I've jumped out of the car to go and help Chris, because this Iceman's hit him on the head with this little samurai sword. Split his head from there to there, 33 or 36 stitches. He got right across his head. And I ran down, and I kicked the fucking door, and I've kicked the door. These grease boxes fell out the wall. Chris was telling Steve Hackett, he'll verify. I've gone in the house, and they've ran in, they've gone in the living room, and they're in the other room now. There's 6 of them in the house. So I've gone in the other them slidey doors, louver doors, I call them things. I've just went bang, hit the doors. They all fell back. So the black man is trying to get the back door with the key, and you can't find the keys on for the key. The door's locked. So then his back's up against the wall. So he's trying to throw punches, but his back's like this against the wall. He's doing that. There's no power coming there. And I've just slipped there. I slipped that time, went bang, hit him with this right uppercut. And he just went bang. As soon as he hit him, anyone who's a fighter, you'll know you can go bang. You hit someone, you don't even have to see it. You can walk away because you know you've landed it. You know it's called a pitch of a punch. hit him right on the chin. He went bang, hit the floor, the fucking table, smashed to pieces, glass table. And then we could hear his helicopter coming. So he shouted, get the police. And then I hit him down like that, turned around just to like smash his fucking face in that way. Because you turn the face around, not hit him in the face that way, hit him in the side here and break the cheekbones that way. But if you if you hit them in the teeth and in the nose, you break your fingers, it's fucking shite, so you better turn them around. I'm loosely doing that, just finish him off like that in the face. She's grabbed me. Anyway, Chris's head's pouring the blood, so I've grabbed him on my shoulder. Chrissy behind me, the other Chris. I've got Chris Curry on my shoulder, took him out. And then there's an old woman made a phone call, and an old man, and another old woman. So as I'm in there, obviously the police could hear the helicopter coming. And they said who I was because they knew me. And I've got Chris out and said, oh, the white lad's come down. He seems like he's coming to save his mates. Oh, he's shouting, leave him alone, you're killing him. Just before I went in. So this is on the 999 phone call, so what got us off. The next minute, I've got in there to say, oh, he's making a right back state. Oh, man, his head's hanging out. His head's hanging off and the top of his skull. His skull cap was hanging off like that. It was like flapping. So I had to get a top and put it on his head. Put him in the car. We went. So when we got nicked, they come for my ear. No, they come from, I went to Ryan's all the way. Young Ryan, who like I said, he was looking after him. Went to Ryan's house. The helicopter came here. And anyway, they fucking got me in the end. And we're all in the front there. There was 60-odd coppers involved in the arrest. And there was an helicopter and all the fucking cops were everywhere. Attempted murder. Aggravated burglary, attempted murder, they said. So anyone got nicked. But that's when I went to the window. I went, I'm Spartacus, screaming out the window. So they've never ever kicked my door, and never, because of the firearms offences, even though I haven't been caught with them. The alleged how many times people have seen me with them, they said. So anyway, they're outside, I'm saying, well, that works. Well, just come in here and see what I've got for you. Just fucking come in here and see what I've got for you. And I've got fuck all. So I've made a cup of tea, like a coffee for myself, and made a cup, put the kettle on, put 3 or 4 cakes out, and put them in there because there was a table in the back kitchen. They went, now we're coming in, can we come in? They've got dogs and everything, all the fucking RoboCop shite, and all that, you bulletproof vest and all that shit on. Anyway, they've come. Like, they've been, what have you got for us by firearms? And I went, no. I'm machete, I went, no. But made you a cup of tea, there's a couple of cakes. They were fucking raging with me. They couldn't do it. Anyway, they never, ever manhandled me, only when I've been fighting in the street with them. So when the company house said I'm getting a shower first, I've got a shower and everything. Anyway, they let us go in the van. We took us to the police station in Middlesbrough. You're arrested for attempted murder and aggravated burglary. So I explained what happened. I said I had to go through that door like that. My mate was getting hit. There was 6 of them with implements. One had a machete. I realised it was a machete now. I thought it was a samurai. No, I thought it was machete, but it was a samurai sword. So what these weapons, there was a baseball bat. There was a piece of it was like a chair leg. There was a knife. He got stabbed twice as well for Chris. He lost about 2 pints of blood. And there was an iron bar. And there was something else. The other had 6 different implements. So when I've gone in, one's ran out. One run up the stairs and jumped out the top window. One's ran out the kitchen and jumped out the window because the door was locked and the black rod trying to open the door. And the others are trapped in the house. They were like that, shitting themselves. So anyway, I've got Chris, like I say, Chris is gone. So I told them a version. So because there was 6 of them in the house, right? And what happened, if they would say we get together and I'm telling you this story, you'd know what to say because I've told you. Because the cops come that quick, they didn't have time to say, well, you say this happened and you say that. They just told their own versions. So there was 6 fucking versions of the same. Oh, Brian come in with a gun. No gun at all. What a fucking shit. Because one said it. And the other one said, I seen him with a shotgun. The other one said he had a handgun. The other one said he had a fucking a baseball bat. The other one said he had 8 lads. How can you get 8 lads in one car? It was a little fucking Fiesta. Absolute shit. We were crushed in the fouls in the front with Chris. No, the other kid was called Danny. And Danny, the other Danny in the back was the army lad. And young Chris was in the car with me and Chris Curry. We were crushed in the fucking, couldn't move in it. So 8 of us in one car. Doesn't make sense. So the statements are shit. So what they've done is for aggravated burglary and Section 18 wounded with intent got dropped out instead of attempted murder. So we went up for bail. Give all the condition that. So they said, right, due to you are Mr. Cockerill. And wait a minute. He said, yeah, we know you've got firearms because I allegedly said, I'll be back and I'll show you what I'll, when I play games here, I'll show you what I'll fucking do to you. And then I went, so they turned around and said, I'll be back with firearms. I never said firearms. I said, I'll be back, I'll come to see you. But I did offer him out when I come out the door. I was saying, fight me out here, you shit house, because he'd recovered then. He'd come to the door and going, I'm getting the police. I could hear the helicopter. I said, I want being you now. And he said, no, I'm getting the police. They're fucking huge, I'm not joking. So anyway, they remanded us. So when we were in court, Chris went, Brian hasn't done nothing. All he did is save my life. He said, I went into the house. He was up the other end of the street. He's come running down the street, heard me screaming and seen me being hit with this samurai sword, machete, whatever the fuck, but it was a samurai sword, little, and I couldn't see him. His glasses were in the garden, so it proved he was assaulted. So he should have been anything above, if you get stabbed above the waist, that's classed as attempted murder, because it's above the waist. He hit him on the fucking head, right across the fucking top of the head. 33 or 36 stitches he had in his head. It was a fucking worst wound I've ever seen on anyone. And I don't know how he survived it. I just don't know how he survived it. So we got him away and got him safe in Danny's house. It was the army lad, it was his granddad's house. So anyway, we got caught in the end, obviously. So he got caught, got him in, and he got remanded the day before me. So they got me in. No, sorry, some lying. They kept us in the cells. They had him in the cells for a day, and then they got me the next day. And I think it was 3 days I was out, and he was in. Caught him the day before. So we've done all statements and all that shit. He said, what happened? So when we went to court, they went, oh, well, we know Mr. Cockerill said he was come back with firearms. He said, we know he's got firearms, and we know this for a fact. So I said, can I speak, Your Honour, Your Worship? So they went, yes. I said, can you show me where the prosecution solicitors have got proof that I've got firearms? I've never been convicted of any firearm offence. Never been convicted of any armed robbery or kidnapping or shooting or anything. So how can we're dealing with facts, which we're not in a fantasy court, we're dealing with facts. He said, I concur 100%, Mr. Cockerill. Yeah, but we know he's got guns. I said, how do you know? Have you been in books? Tell me, how do you know? Tell us how you know I've got firearms. What type of firearms have I got? What is it? The AK-47s or the fucking... What type of firearms have I got? You seem to know a lot about... You seem to know a lot more than I know, and you're talking to me about myself. Like me calling us could say, well, I know you're a paedophile. But there's no need for that. I said, well, there's no need for him making statements to shit up, is there, as well? Exact same. Coming up with these prognoses that don't even exist. So when we understand, yeah, you're right. So the fucking thing, they still fucking reminded me. So Chris was crying. Chris started crying because he was emotional because he nearly fucking died. The lad honestly said, I really thought I was going to die. There was a man called Douglas Hurd, who was the Home Secretary, and he said, what we need in this country now is a lot more have-a-go heroes. Like, somebody's getting hurt in the street and somebody runs over that, pulls them off, and they arrest them, and they do an arrest, like say an old woman getting beat up and you arrest them, take them to the police station. There's no wrong with that because they fucking want to arrest them. Or like somebody's house is getting burned, like a fucking family house, and you go and you grab the bastards and you pull them down. That's different than fucking making statements against people, fucking normal people. But these fuckers, these magistrates remanded me to Home House. So Chris Cott, he said, but he's done nothing wrong. He's just saved my life. He said, it wasn't me. I wouldn't be here today. We'd be dealing with the murder here today. And the barrister said the solicitor said the same. We'd be dealing with the murder. If it wasn't for Mr. Cockerill's intervention of going in that house and showed the bravery what he did. He said to save his friend's life, he wouldn't be here today. His friend, Mr. Curry, concurred as well. So got remanded to Home House, me and Chris. So we're in Home House. And we're in there. So we start giving it. There was a lad called Chinky. He was a good kid. He's passed away now. I was telling him what happened to him. I was no way. Anyway, so I started giving the depths out in the depositions. And it went right. A big Bud Armstrong from Newcastle read it. Maybe 100 people read it around the wing. And they all went, fucking hell, you shouldn't even be in here. And I'd give it a screw called Feeney. And I said, take that on, just prove to you I'm not bullshit. I can't take it on, but I'll read it on like when you're on like when you go out. So I give him it. And he read it after about 2 days. It took him to read it. He went, that's disgusting. He said, you shouldn't even be in here. Then when I went up, there was 2 screws because we got, see what it was, and that then used to be able to go back to court. So they give us it from, there'd been a serious thing. They kept us on kept us in Home House. We did it by video link. So they remanded us again. Fucking wankers. But the screw said, can I have a word with you? I went, yeah. He said, can I just shake your hand? I said, why? He said, well, my 16-year-old daughter, that Iceman, and that girl got my daughter on their crack cocaine. They called him the Iceman because he used to sell ice in America. That was his nickname. So he said, my daughter got on crack cocaine and she ended up selling herself. And they were pumping her down London. She was only 16-year-old. He said, I just want to thank you and the people from Billingham. Another one come over, he shook me hand, told them the same day from Billingham, said, thank God you got rid of him out of Billingham, because it's only a small town, Billingham. So I chased him up there. I really chased him. So Pendlington, where it was called. So what happened is the police did their fucking stuff, did nothing to help me. It's like they did with Doyle, Mr. Doyle, Mrs. fucking Miss Pinky and Perky. They're pigs, aren't they? The police are pigs, so they're Pinky and Perky with Jamie and his wife. Pinky and Perky in the Cleveland police. He's put another post up today saying, I'm getting the authorities. He's attacked my son for the second time. What the fuck are you going on about now? It's just shite you come out with. I've attacked his son now. Fucking totally deranged he is. He's trying to get me to come out and say something stupid so I'll get locked up. But I'm not going to follow your little game. And you know what? You can do what you want with your stupid fake account. Because when I answer back to a fake account, it's inadmissible, you fucking moron. That's what you are. You're a moron. You and your wife, two morons. You can't use a fake account to call someone. Then if people say something back to you, you can't go, well, that's me. That was me pretend to be, that's me pretend to be somebody else. But just say, well, that's you trolling him. How fucking dumb are you? Dumb and dumber. Fucking Dumbo the elephants. Sticky buns tomorrow for sale, 3 for £1. Tell your missus at the fucking shop. Fucking hell, Dumb and Dumber. Absolute Dumb and Dumber, the both of them. He thinks he's got fake accounts. See, what I've done, I've never once phoned him. On every one of your lives on here, I've never once phoned him from my phone to his phone. I've never once text War Cry Publishing with any messages. And I've never once texted his wife or seen his son. I've never been to the house. What? Look at, you know me 100%. What the fuck would the taxman need with a knife for the 13-year-old kid? I think he was 12, 13-year-old at the time. Then you turned around and said it was me and Emma. Went up there and threatened your son. Then you went on the Paul Singer show. Oh, it wasn't Brian and Emma. It was somebody else from Middlesbrough. Trying to pretend it was little Terry. You changed the narratives every other fucking week. Then you turned around and said, me and Emma got your windows put through. Then you said you seen me running down the street with two other lads. Oh, no, it wasn't Cockerill, but it was, you just keep changing it, Shirley. And that's why the police, imagine going to court, they're going to think, what a load of fucking shit this is. So now you're saying, I was in hospital, I was in a hospital bed, paralysed, couldn't walk. How the fuck did I smash your windows? And you changed it. Then you turned around and said, the knife. He didn't have a knife. He said, then you changed it again, that was it. You said, my son has to go to bed every night with a knife because of Brian and Emma Cockerill. Well, why does your son have to go to bed with a knife every night? You must be telling him things to frighten the kid. And why would you let a 12, 13-year-old child go to bed with a knife? Social service should be taking the kid off you. You're an inappropriate mother, You're not a fucking good mother. Let your son go to bed with a knife. That is absolutely sick. So getting back to the story, Dumbo and Dumbo. So you can still keep people, hello, Steve Mac. Right, son, he's still there, good lad. Just checking NFG. That looks like somebody's been naughty. That'd be the idiot. Any biggie ones come on. Grim Corbett, Johnny Jump. Hello, Johnny. Craig, do you think you'd ever have a movie of yourself? Yeah, they're actually on about doing the movie. I've just done a movie with the Stephen Sayers from Newcastle. I'm in that where Danny Christie's fighting Bad Bob, and the other one, Wild Bill, I think it is. One's Gary Fairby, the governor, and one's Danny Christie, who's a top mixed martial arts, I think he is. Fighter. So them 2 hours refereeing them fucking two. State of me, fucking refereeing them. They'd kill me if they hit me. So they were really good ones as well. Nice lads, both of them. They looked after me, but I do it and pull them apart and stuff. And Stephen Sayers did brilliant, and Stephen Race, marvellous, and then Roger, the cameraman, that was brilliant. They were really, really good, man. Because I just did my own stuff. They said, you just do what you were doing a fight. Well, I've refereed loads of fights in the street, not in the ring. But it'd been great move. And my fights, you don't get a break. My fight, you fight to the death, and that's it. You fight to the fucking one. One gives up, or the one can't continue. That's it. That's the only way I fight. I don't fight that. Minute rest, towel comes in, spongy gloves on. No, not all that. I fight with the bare knuckle fists in the street, and everything goes. God give you teeth to bite with. God give you elbows to hit with. God give you headbutt with. They give you your knees to knead with. Everything's there. You use every single. It's like having a tank with all these different things, armory on it. You wouldn't just use. I'll just use the big battle thing. I'll leave the machine gun. I'm not having that. I'm not having the bazooka. Not. So you use the armory you've got, and God give you the armory. You use it. I'd rather win than lose any day. So anyway, these idiots. Now he's saying I've attacked his son. I've attacked your son at what? I even beat the Stokesy for fucking for ages and ages. I went the other way just to go past the where saying, "Oh, your windows put through." Lying to people again, pretend your windows aren't put through. Every one of them smashed to bits. I spoke to the neighbours. They said, "Be glad they've gone." They said they were sick to death of getting out, looking out the windows at 2 and 3 in the morning, he's screaming, shouting out the window. They're all videoing people out the windows. He said, sick of it. The one across the road said, "Thank God, good witness to shit." He couldn't stand the neighbours, couldn't stand him. He said, and the ones in the shop said, "Oh, absolute bellender." That's what he's made. He's made a page called Bellenders to torture people. And as soon as somebody says about him, like, "How dare you say this about my this and this and that?" He goes on it fucking like as if he's a king. That's the narcissist, see. So what's happening? He's trying to change people. He's took about 5 or 6. He's even took Tina Shaw's page down. Bless her, a lovely lady, just because she spoke up about the truth. Now, this proves to you what he is, a narcissistic fucking bully. And there, if that was lies, they'd have that took off ages ago. It's not lies, it's the truth. Tina Shaw had the right to come on and stick up for her father. He was going to go on and make a documentary about Tina Shaw's father, Roy Shaw, one of the greatest fighters ever lived. Lovely, lovely man. And tell loads of lies about him, saying he had the tape recordings, and all the tape recordings were stolen out of her house. And you never had them. Tinfoil, you never had the tape recordings, you fucking liar. It was Gary, your brother, had them. And they were going to you were going to do a documentary with Paul Suggett. We contacted Paul Suggett and Tina did. And he went, "I'm not doing it." He said he hasn't even got me them. He said he just lies all the time. Everything he does lies. He's going to be doing this movie with this one, Paul Sykes movie. He said he's been saying that now for 9.5 years. Paul said, he said, "It's full of shit. We won't be doing nothing with him again. Never again. Not a thing we'll be doing with him." And I've been told by other people about the busting and other things. Nobody's going to work with him. And his boss now has completely shut down the shop where all the books get sold from. So why are they shutting down all the shops, giving the books away and everything if there was no court cases? Why would you give? It'd be like you having to say you had a car lot and you sold cars. And the tax man was off. You're not me, the tax man. You think, fuck, we're going to have to get these cars. We're going to get done for the tax and that and that and that and that. So they give the books away. They give the books away. They went £1.99, then they went to 99. Now they're nothing. There's none on the shelves. There's none anywhere. Electric books and everything. There's none getting redone or nothing. So everything he's done is his own destruction. I like to me and Terry at the do, but Stephen still says, just let him do what he does because he's a master of his own downfall, and that's what he's done. He's doing exactly what he said on the tin, ruined everything he does. But as of these, attacked your son. How can I attack anyone? How am I going to chase? What is he, 14, 15-year-old? How am I going to chase a 15-year-old kid? What if I was at your house, knocked on the door? You'd have seen me at the door. You'd have videoed me. It's just lies all the time. You're just doing that to try and create a narrative to brighten the monster. And you're putting this shit up about me on this Ebenezer Green spot. Shirley, I know it's you. I know you, right? I know how you talk. You're an idiot. Go and get another couple of pies. Entice you. That's all you have to do. Throw a couple of pies. Come on. Yeah, come on. You need to entice you out the fucking house with a couple of pies. Okay, now. So, now they say I've attacked the son. Second time I've attacked the son. So if I've attacked your son, well, I'm not getting arrested. You put it up yesterday that he's attacked my son for the second time. I'm going to get him done by the authorities. The authorities are getting you tomorrow. I've been on the phone and I've been speaking to YouTube and I've told everybody in YouTube, report Cockerill. He's evil. He's an evil, horrible channel needs taken down. It's evil. It's twisted and it's horrible what they're doing to people. Doing what, Jamie? We're helping people. We're being nice to people. We're not ripping people off the books. We're not calling old men. We're not destroying people. If I was doing all these things, you'd have had me. I'd have been arrested and charged by now. There's nothing happening. The police thing's been going on now for fucking nearly 6 months. Nothing's happening. No, is it more 5.5 months? Nothing's happening because you keep doing it off fake accounts. If you were doing it off your real account, I was texting you back going, "I'm coming to our house tomorrow. I'm going to do this and do that." Then it'd be different because you've got a fake account. You're trolling me, you fucking moron, with a fake name. So that's trolling. You haven't got a clue what it means. You haven't got a clue. You don't even know what Section 2 is and Section 4. You haven't got a clue what they mean. You don't even understand the difference between an opinion. If somebody said to me, "Ryan, I don't like you," I'm not really fussed on you. I went, okay, brother, God bless you. I wouldn't sit there. I'm going to get him back. I want to report his channel. I went, you're fucking mental. You're just like a little kid in the playground, 5-year-old. I'm telling you, I'm getting the teachers on, my dog's bigger than your dog. My dad's bigger than your dad. You're like a little kid in the playground, like a 6, 7, 8-year-old kid. Immaturity is called. Mark Everson, British Brian, he only has himself to blame. Yeah, well, we tried everything. Like Steve Max said, we've done everything we can to help him. We even Steve said, like, I've done a move called This Is Birmingham. I don't know what's coming out, but I'm going to have to phone them. I can't phone them because I haven't got the number because the police have got my fucking phone still. But as of the police thing, they're not even interested. There's nothing happening. I think what they're doing, they're just going to get them all together and just go, it's finished with. That's what's going to happen. There's nobody going to jail. There's nobody getting done. If I got done, I'd bring all the evidence I've got against you. I'd put my statement in. I remember and all the other people put their statements in and would just fucking crumble you. You imagine him going to court, I smoke crack and weed, I'm going to fight you down the gym at 11 a.m. off your head. Then you're in the snow crawl, off your head, intoxicated. Then you're in my wedding. You're going up to Tommy Owen, say to Tommy, when I fight with him, when you fought Lee, what happened? And Lee's going, Tommy went, listen, it's Brian and Emma's day. Give it a rest, will you? Leave my mum alone. Tommy hates anyone going near his mum. And I said, keep away from his mum, he'll fucking hurt you. He'll seriously hurt you, you fucking idiot. Tommy's a good kid. Tommy or Peter O's nephew, lovely lad, and his dad was a lovely man. All the O's are lovely people. He pretended he knew. He used to spar with Anthony O, and I said, did you fuck? And he was fucking Anthony was the ABA champion, schoolboy champion. He fucking talk you up your ass. Absolute shit you talk. Then you turned on and said about poor John Pierce. You went, when I used to watch you get changed, John, you're doing this like a little kid. I used to watch you get changed. I had a crush on you when I was 13. I was thinking, and I'm doing, you could feel your face going red. Please don't say this. He's going, and I used to watch you go in the showers and look at what you're getting changed. I'm looking at him thinking, you fucking, my face is purple now. I'm like that. Look, try to look the other way. And he's on on a podcast doing it because John was another champion. He was a world champion. John Pierce, really good boxer. I think he was like middleweight or lightweight. Really nice lad. John said, I'm going to punch his fucking head when I see him. That's what you do. You're horrible. You don't like, nobody likes you because you're horrible. You talk shit, pretending you were a top fighter. And I fought in the ABA's semi-finals three years ago. You never had one fucking fight. You never even had a fucking. You had 3 sparring sessions, got battered, and got kicked out of the gym. So I get back to him because I'm just annoyed with him again. So he's trying to make people straight down my channel. He's trying to get all used ones, but the people. Doesn't know me, they're trying to say his channel's horrible, what he's doing, he's threatening my son, he's doing, fucking never threatened your son at all, you just keep lying all the time. If I threatened your son, why is he not in the indictments, which I showed everyone the other week? Why did you turn around and he's more like you, Ted? I never made a statement, Jamie never made a statement, I made the statements, me, Shirley and Boyle, Jamie never done them, I made the statements, but when I've got the statements off the police, you're on the fucking statements, you made the statements. I haven't got the statements, but I've got the bail sheet. You're mentioned on the bail sheet. Keep away from Jamie Boyle and Shirley Ann Boyle. I kept away from you. And I've never said that about you. I've only told the truth. You can't get done for telling the truth. There's no malicious communication. It's the truth. There's a difference. If you're making things up, it doesn't exist. If I can pull out like witnesses and pull statements out, if I can get videos off the internet and show you off your head full of drugs and go to court to alleviate you, Your Honour, full of drugs. And then you're saying in your word, I'll fight you 1-to-1, Cockerill. Still say 11 a.m. Window the door. And I'll fight you, you said, in the gym. But you turned on and said, biggest mistake of your life, that's why Paul Venice fucked you off. You went, and I'll bring my friend Paul Venice, and I'll do this for Paul Venice, and I'll do this for that, and do this. So he knew then you were a fucking nightmare. So then you turned on and said, Paul Venice has told me not to say this. So I knew Paul Venice wasn't involved with Emma. So you turned around and said, Paul Venice, fuck you, Paul Venice, you said. So he must have thought, who the fuck do you think you're talking to? Fuck you, Paul, I'll fight you as well. And fuck you, Shirley, you don't mind. So you disrespected your own family and your own wife, and your fucking child, and your fucking mate, best mate, who stuck up for you all the way through it. And after that day, he fucked you off because he knew what you were then. He knew you were a crank. So you came on there saying you were on drugs. I smoke crack and weed. I can still beat you, Cockerill. I can still fight you in Steel City Gym. No, you couldn't because you're a shithouse. But you've that there alone, that one video, you threatened me 12 times with Paul Venice and 15 times with Richie Horsley and 10 times with Mick Sorby. So see that there? There's 37. That's 37. What was that? 17, 20, 27, I think it is. Different threats. If you threaten somebody 10 times with that, 10 threats. If you set somebody else 15, that's 25, and then 12, that's 37. 37 threats you've done there. I'm going to get them to come beat you up. I want that they're coming to. I've got them to phone you, and you shit yourself. I got them to come to fight you, and you wouldn't fight me. I was in hospital, Jim, in a wheelchair, and they never told me it was you pretending to be them. But even though you're pretending to be them, you can get done for that because there's communication coming from your page to that page to direct you to me. You've been doing that to me. You don't know about you've got hundreds of threats. Well, why don't you give the police them? Emma's got 9,000 screenshots of you threatening to burn your house down, threatening to rape her, threatening to fucking kill my brother, threatening to kill me. We've got all the stuff. We've got video information. We've got you're the video threatening the nine-stone kid in the street going, I'm going to kill you. I'll kill you in front of your kids. I'm bringing Paul Dennis in the morning to kill you. I'm going to kill you in front of your kids. He's saying, well, that when it goes to court, how are you going to get off of that one? How's the jury going to get you off of that one? You're fucked. You're fucked. You forgot about all the horrible little things you've done, haven't you? But we haven't. Emma's got them all stuck away in a lovely little safe in the year. It's all in the year, but she's got them all on the computers. She's sent it with other people. If the police come try and take them, we've sent all these information, all hundreds of different people we know all over. So they're everywhere. They're never going to go out and go missing when the police come and try to take the computers. That's what they've done with me. They've took my computers and they think take everything off his computers. They won't have no proof. But your little police friends aren't not working because they're not clever enough because we've already backed these up. Every statement, every video you've made, everything you've called us, Emma's got them all backed up. That's great news. So anyway, getting back to this lad. So we goes to jail. So I'm in jail, and when I was in jail, there was I used to box. So on that side there was like 60 lads, and there was 60 in this one. There was 4 house blocks. It was like 120 would go 60 on this yard, 60 on that yard, 60 on that, and 60 on that. And then we'd go out for like walk and that. So I used to box. So what I used to do, I used to do 3-minute rounds. I used to do 3 threes. And I do that 3 or 4 times a day. Fuck all I do. And I'd use the wall, just tap it and move around. And Dylan Conroy was in, Paddy Conroy's nephew was in next door to me, ginger head kid. His dad's called Lenny, just to prove I was in with him. And anyway, Bud Armstrong was in with us, but he's on the other side. So what they used to do in the night, they turn the light off. So I'm in my cell because I used to have the telly on the box of the wall, so they could see me from the distance and watch me boxing. And they said, we all watch all night boxing out the window. It's like, a floor show you're doing on the thing like that. I didn't realise what they were doing because they kept turning all the lights off, but they couldn't see properly the lights on. So when they turned the lights off, they could see me box. So I used to box and used to get like the Sky Sports would come on. So at the bottom of on the Sky Sports, never had it watching there. You'd have the time come on, so I'd right, I'll do, right, here we go. I'll go 3-minute round, bam, 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 punch the thing. And then sometimes you come back on it and be beyond 5 or 6 minutes you've been boxing for. So I could never get the 3 minutes properly. But I used to do it like that to train. And then we used to go to the gym and I did 850 kilo leg press in the gym. Chris was there, loads of people were there who were seeing it. And I got Big Bud Armstrong was there with me. I got 12 reps with 850 kilos. No steroids or nothing in my system. 48-year-old, I think I was, something like that. That's how strong I was. Squatting 7 plates, back squat in the gym with Bud. He couldn't believe how strong I was. But I got on with everyone in the jail and looked after people in there. But what happened in the end, the truth came out in the end. So what happened is I got Peter Makepeace, who was the best barrister in the country from York. Peter Makepeace, and the other one was called Peter something, and the judge was called Peter Fox. So that day I was depressed. I was sitting there looking, I'm in here for nothing. I'm supposed to save the army lads fucking trying to get a pension back for him. I'm in here. And the next minute the door comes on screw said, can you have a look in there? So he looked in, it was like a solicitor's letter. And I come out and it said, Peter Makepeace, Peter, so I can't remember his second name, the other one. I was a prosecuting barrister, and Peter, I've just forgot his name, Peter fucking hell. Can't remember his name now. The judge, Peter. Can't think. I'll come up. So I was thinking about my brother Peter, and he was called Peter, and then there 3 letters come. Peter Fox. That was it, Peter Fox. So we goes up to court, me and Chris. So anyway, Chris shouts out the window. He goes, "We're going to get out. We're getting out," because he was on the other wing. What do you mean we're getting out? I haven't. He said, "I've got a pack." No, like little kids. What do you mean you got a pack? You went a lunch. I think you tomorrow. Where you go? What do you call it? I don't know. You're on about. He's on about. He's got a pack of food. Where you're going out in the morning, so you get that to go out because you don't get your breakfast because everyone's still in bed because they take you to court early and get you in the cells down there. I haven't got one. Anyway, they come round and give me it. Mr. Feeney went, "Oh, you were telling the truth all along, big fella. Good on you." So what happened is, the dirty bastards that were the coppers, they never went. What happened, there was a woman next door called Julie, and her husband, I can't remember her husband's name. So when I ran down that street, I was telling you, in Billingham, to have the fight, I ran down the street, I kicked the door in and grabbed the lad and I brought him out. The woman next door, when these other lads, see when that happened, I think it was the Hardy lads who went around and shot his windows out. The cops come to the prison and said, "Oh, have you had his windows shot out?" I said, "What have I done? Jumped over the fence in the middle of the fucking night. I'm in the fucking home house." So I said, "Fuck off." Let me tell you, fuck off. And I told her, "I don't want to speak to these cunts. Get these to fuck off." Anyway, they couldn't do nothing. So they got moved, like I said, they got moved to London in the end, Surrey Keys. So we are getting out. I mean, we're in jail still. So I'm trying to think what I'm on about now. Lost my story. Timmy B, thank you very much. Don't forget to push the like buttons. So I'm trying to think how we got it. That was it. So we're in there. So this Julie woman, the Iceman, when his windows got shot out, the cops covered the vehicles, moved them out, moved them away. So then I made a big scrimmy from over there, who was a great friend of me and Chris's, found out what had happened. And he got somebody to go to the door and say, "Look, Brian and them haven't done this. Can you just go and tell the truth?" You can't get done for that if you go and see someone to tell the truth. She said, "I don't mind telling the truth." She said, "Brian didn't do nothing." Or Chris, he said, "Chris knocked on the door. Like, Iceman, come on, smashed him over the head with a machete and dragged him in the house," which is kidnapping and attempted murder. The cops weren't interested because it was me and Chris Curry. So he said, then Brian's kicked the door in and went to save him. She said, "But I've actually got," she said to the lad, "I've actually got the weapons." What weapons? There was a rounder's bat, a baseball bat, a wooden leg, a knife, and there was what else was it? I can't remember now. Oh yeah, the samurai sword, the little sword. But we keep saying it was a machete because I thought it was for ages. She said all the weapons, and she said what happened? They came in just before the police turned up with the helicopter. And I was outside. She said they came in and put the stuff under there. The Iceman and he put that under your settee. So you had one bag with the weapons in, and the bag with the bars and stuff like that. And there was a metal bar there. So they put them under a settee, pulled the settee back over, and pushed them underneath, and went to the house. So she said, "Well, I was too scared to go to the police then. I'll go now." So she went. She phoned the police up. The cop who was in charge of my case, the dirty scumbag from fucking Stockton Police, you fucking wanker. He didn't say a boo to me when he seen me at Teesside Park, you fucking shithouse. What he done is the wanker. He went, the investigation's over with that. We don't need them. What you don't need, the proof that they've attacked us, because Chris Curry's blood was all over these implements, all over the fingerprints were all in the bag of the Iceman. His fingerprints were on the bag. He used his own normal fingers. He didn't just use gloves on them. So they had all the proof. So they went, "Oh no," she said, "Oh, we'll phone you back if we need you." So she phoned back again, spoke to somebody else, like the inspector. But "Oh no, we've got all the evidence we need now. The case is going ahead. It's too late now." What do you mean it's too late? We haven't even got a trial date yet. You dirty, horrible cunt, you fucking scumbag, Cleveland Police. You vermin. Yeah, you fucking vermin, you know. You fucking vermin. Trying to set me up again, you dirty bastards. So what happened is, the lady wouldn't take no for an answer, and her husband. So they drove down to fucking Craig Beard. God bless Craig Beard. Went to Craig's office in Redcar and took the fucking stuff. And he went, "I don't know what to do with this. I've never known this situation in my life. This is corruption beyond corruption." So then Craig contacted the prosecution, my barrister, Mr. Makepeace, and sent them emails together at the same time and said, "Look, there's a girl coming and she lives next door." She said, "What happened?" He said, "Well," she made a full statement. She said, I seen Chris knocking on the door. I know Chris from Billingham because I used to drink in the pub where he used to go. She said, "I didn't know Brian, but I've obviously heard of his name. Everyone knows Brian Cockerill." She said, "But when Brian came, he went, 'Leave him alone, you're killing him.' He was banging on the window, but my window was open like that, like a little bit, the curtain, so I could see out. I just stood back because she had net curtain and the window was open, like the windows were open, but you could see." She said she had the baby in the house, so I could hear Brian, "Leave him alone, you're killing him," and you could hear all the screaming next door and everything. And then the door went, Brian went in with the door, and then Brian come back out with Chris Curry's shoulder. Right, that wasn't enough to prove it. Right, so this is how bad it is with them. This is how bad they hate me because I've never fucking helped you scumbags in my life. So what they've done is the cops, they went to 3 people's houses. They went to all the houses in the street, about 20 houses, but 3 of them, it was called disclosure. But Craig got this, Craig Beard, bless him. He said, we want the disclosure. So they had the disclosure from day one. The dirty bastards had it. I got the second day, they did the first, we went on one day, and the second day they had all the disclosure, hid the disclosure from us. Now, in the disclosure, that means it's to go around and do all these different things. There was an old man in his 60s, maybe 70. There was an old woman, 66, and there was an old one, 60 odd as well. They phoned 999. Now, a 999 phone calls, you all know this, are recorded. So that 999 phone calls are recorded. She says, oh, there's a big lad fighting. There's a big black lad outside fighting with a white lad with glasses on. Oh, he's hit him. His glasses fell off. Oh, he's hit him on the head with a machete. Like I thought it was a little samurai sword. So he's fell on the floor. I dragged him in the house. So there's enough there to charge him, this Iceman, for attempted murder, attempted murder, kidnapping, and holding somebody with intent of the life. So nothing. So next minute, she said, and the next minute, this big white lad comes running down the street screaming, leave him alone, you're going to kill him. So he's got in the house, and she said, oh, you should see the state of the blood. She said, he came out, he had him on his shoulder, half on his shoulder, and he was shouting back at the black lad. Oh, they mean you. He was shouting at the black lad, I'll fight you 1-to-1. And he was going, no, like that. So the big lad put his mate in the car, his friend, his men dragged him in, but his head fell out, and all his scalp fell open. She said, I thought he was dead. I just thought he was dead. They'd still never done nothing there. Fucking scum you are. You're fucking them and you are, you cunts. So I got on remand still. So it was only on the 14th it closed down. So on the 12th, they had an emergency meeting. So what happened is, I'll just finish going on. So then they went to the old man's. He did the exact same statement. He went, yeah, he come run down the street, big massive lad, kicked the door in, took his mate out and saved his life. Lived his life. Another one, she had their phone calls. So them 3 phone calls then were given to the prosecution and given to the judge and given to the defence lawyer, which is Peter Makepeace. If you're watching Peter, love you, mate. And they got me off. They saved my fucking life. I was looking between 8 and 15 years in jail. But fuck all you scumbag coppers. You're fucking vermin, you're a lot of you. And you've done it again. I mean, you're trying to do it again, you fucking scumbags with a piece of shit. Top CID investigator, a little stinking scumbag like Jamie fucking tinfoil fucking shithouse, a little snitch. What you've had him working for you for fucking years. You've been using him as a pawn, and you've been saying you go get the information, record people, tell us what they're doing. You've had him in different areas, and you've been getting people set up for years. He's been waiting for you, snitching bastard. He's been waiting for you for years. That's what you've been doing. That's why you keep covering him up. There's no the excuse. There's no the, I can't find nothing. Solicitor I've talked to, barrister I've talked to, they're all saying the same. Top people from down the country, even people like the mayor, I mean, they're all fucking different. I won't say which mayor. And their councillors have told us. They're all saying he's working with the cops. He just keeps getting protection, because he keeps snitching. Like Craig, he keeps snitching on people. He keeps getting people. I've got all the people in here. Steve Mack, Irish Bull, twice. Steve Mack, twice. Fucking raiding his house with a little girl there, beautiful family. Trying to get doing good, bringing his daughter, doing a great thing in his life, change his life from helping people, being a nice lad, keeping out of trouble for his mum's sake as well. And you're sending police to his house. You went to his house and you videoed his car and pretended he was outside your house. That's how you got it, because you stay used to box at the same gym as you, so you knew exactly where he lived in the area. You went around, videoed it, but they were on you. The cops couldn't prove it, because if his car was outside your house, it would be that way. You couldn't park the cars that way, because streets only 8 foot wide. So the cars go that way parked. So if that's on me now, that way, you can see my reg. Say this is a reg. But if I was that way, you'd only see the side of me. See, if there was a car parked, you'd see people sat in the car driving it, and you'd have seen the girl who was driving the car. There was no car there. There was no footage of that. But what you did is you went down and took a picture of the car and took the reg of his car out near his mum's. That's how you done it. And you got him arrested, but they were on you, and you're hiding on the run. They put you in a safe house. There's people on the streets starving, got nothing, no food, nothing. And you're getting put out luxury places from one place to another all over. You've been doing it for the last 12 years. You've been doing it, working with the police. That's what you're doing. You're definitely working with the police. Every single person says the same. So anyway, we goes what do you call it? Chris is shouting out the windows. That so we goes to see. I went to see Craig, but he went, "Oh, we're in serious trouble now." I said, "What's the matter?" He went, "I've only been found out." He said, "Everything you told me, I know you. I've known him. I knew him since I was 20 years old. I loved him a bit. He's passed away now. Lovely man, him and Graham Brown. Brilliant. Best ever Teesside solicitors that ever lived. Never, ever. No one's ever come close to Graham Brown and Craig Beer. They were brilliant. Brown and Beer. He said what we were going to go for is Newcastle, Brown and Beer. They were funny. And he could have a fight. He was a big bloke, only about 16, son, rugby player, lovely man. And he went, the judge just turned around and said, this is one of the worst. The prosecution barrister, Peter Makepeace, said to me, he said, my colleague, I met him on the stairs, he said, going down today in the court, he said, this is terrible. He said, this Cockerill case and Curry, he said, it's disgusting. He said, the police have withheld the statements, they've withheld the weapons back, they've even withheld the disclosure back. Them men should never went to jail in the first place. That disclosure, if they give us the first day of the trial, first day of the court case, first day of the when we did interviews, that would have got kicked out. That would have been hid it all that time. So what they said, this is how low life they are. Going, well, we break on the 14th. The judge said, no, the prosecution barrister said, well, we break. No, that was it. My barrister said, Peter Makepeace said, oh, we break now on the 14th because December the 14th it was. They were closing down for 2 weeks and they'd reopen. So the defence one went, well, the police and I think what we should do is just leave it now until we have when they reopen another court. He went, and the judge went, don't you think this man, and don't you think these men have done enough jail? Where in prison. The innocent people are in jail. You have put these in jail knowing for a fact that there were 6 people made 6 different statements. How can you have 6 statements of 6 people? You've also been given 3 telephone conversations of 3 999 calls. It doesn't take an expert to listen to that and realise what's happened. You took the statements off the 66-year-old, the 60-year-old, and the 70-year-old. 3 people have verified it. And the phones, the operators have verified on the 999 calls. You've then covered up the weapons in the house. The lady's gone. She was a nurse. She wasn't a nurse. She was a nurse. Her husband was a porter, North Tees Hospital. The nurse has come and phoned you. You've covered it up. You've completely covered it up. So we went in the courtroom, went on the day. They said, I want to see the police officers in this case today in my office as soon as this court case is finished. I want to know what's going on because this is pure corruption. And that's what he said. The judge was raging. He said, this man should have been given the medal, not in prison sentence for going in there. That's what my barrister said. He said he went in that house with 6 people, weapons. He's got in there and saved his friend's life. He's had to go hero, like Brian said. Mr. Cockerill said, I had to go hero like the Home Secretary said. I'd end up landing in jail. This is why Peter won't have a go. This is why Peter will just walk on and won't get involved with the police because they're corrupt. But that's what you did to me. Why don't you sue me, claim police, if I'm lying? I challenge you to sue me now. Fucking sue me now if I'm lying about you. Because you're vermin. You've fucking always been vermin. Your whole police force is corrupt. You've always been corrupt. You've never been fucking straight. You've never been straight with the public. You've always been corrupt. All of your chief inspectors have all been sacked for corruption, taking drugs, raping fucking women. They've all been kicked out. Taking the car, driving the car, pretending his wife was it. 6 years the commissioner got. The other one, that Barry, the other one, he was having fucking sex with rent boys in their fucking parliament. That's how he got kicked out of the police force. Teddy Dick was telling me he was on the other week. That's the Cleveland police. You look in the newspapers and check up. Tim Devlins was an ex-MP and he was an ex-fucking barrister. The most corrupt police force of the great British history since Robert Peel invented the Peelers, which was the police and the Bow Street Runners. That's how corrupt you are. You're in every newspaper. It's the most corrupt police force going. You're corrupter than fucking anyone. And also, what the judge took, I don't know what the judge said to them, but they bumped into me, the 2 wankers. It wasn't Teesside Park. It was as the Tesco. How did you? He went, how did you like your 3 months? I said, got off though, didn't you fucking scumbag? You fucking shit house. You're a shit house, you know. Fucking shit house. You just didn't dare say fucking boo to me. You're a tosser, that's why. Tosser. Can't fucking stand you. I wouldn't give you that time of day. Even if somebody shot me dead here now and I was dying at that second to breathe, I'd still tell you fuck all. I can't stand you, you fucking scum. But that little fucking worm he is, all he does is, I'm getting a place on you. All you do, don't you? Little con man, but I've ruined you. I've ruined you and let the great British public know, the whole world knows what you are now, a con man, ripping old people off who don't know about computers. And you've been found out, you've been found wanting, and all your court case, that means shit, because it's not going to happen. It's nothing. You've got nothing whatsoever on us. My wife's got every single thing on you. We'll get everyone to make statements. We'll get every single fucking person to make statements We'll see how clever you are then, because all these people aren't going to watch us go to jail because of you, because you're a snitch and you work with them.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. I don't know what you're talking
Happy
about.
birthday, dear Amelia, Steve Mac's daughter.
Hello, Amelia. How
Happy
you, darling?
birthday
You all right?
to
Happy
you.
birthday. How old are you? 14, I think she is. 15. She puts him on. Did she get that? She fucking knocked Doyle clean out there. Fucking wipe him out with one jab. I would knock him out with one jab. You can't fight. You're a fucking fanny. You're a little fan. You got his kid one day in front of me, Terry, in the house. He wouldn't get out of bed. The kid, he was knackered in bed. No kids up all night on the phones in bed. He grabbed him off the bed, pulled him off the bed, banged his fucking head off the floor, dragged him down all the steps. The kid was going all the way. He banged his head off all the steps all the way down. I said, "Is there any fucking need for that? Could have fucking killed you." Like, this is what I'm going to put up with. This is what he is, a fucking bully, a woman bully, and my child bullying us all the time. Terry can back me up. And then you shot him in the face with a plastic fucking gun. Think you were clever with one of them fucking plastic fucking gun things with stickers. So where's your police at? I'm waiting for my arrest. You fucking shit. I phoned the police station now 37 times. I've got it all recorded. Don't you worry, you fucking scumbags. 37 times I've phoned him, 37 times to keep putting the phone down on me. And every time I phone up, I've gone through the other day. I said, "What's happened with this case? I want my stuff back, my devices." And she went, "I'll just put you through." So she pushed this thing. No, I don't know really how the fuck you pushed it in. So you know, to take it out and plug it in like that. It went. So I was on there about 15 minutes. Went beep, beep, beep. Hello. I said, "Is this such and such for your devices?" She went, "Oh no, you've come back to me." So I'll give you, I'll put you to line 2. That was it. Put it in the next extension. That's it. Put it in there. On the phone about another 8, 9 minutes. Beep, beep, beep. Went back to her again. She went, "I'll come back to me." I said, "That's the second time." So I'll just put you extension 3. Put you to extension 3. This is on my brother's grave. This. Beep, beep, beep. Went back to her again. That was 3 times. I went, This is take the piss now. It's just the way it goes. Now I'm like, "What do you mean the way it goes? You need to know the fucking place where it goes or doesn't." So she put the 4th one through. 2 minutes later, went back to her again. "Oh, what I can do, I'll just try and contact them for you. Oh, I can't seem to get through." Just lies. So then I've even got this backing up. I'm going to put another complaint in now. So I'm going to put another complaint in with your fucking corrupt police officers because you're fucking scum they are. Can't be bothered to answer the phone to me just because you know you're a fucking shithouses. You fucking can't stand me, can you? The fucking hammers every time you went to court. You tried every little trick in the book, every fucking permutation. You've got jack shit. You've got a smackhead, a compulsive drug addict, compulsive heroin addict, compulsive crack cocaine taker. And also, we've got all the videos of him admitting it. We've got all the beef. We've got people in the street he's threatened to kill. We've got loads of other people he's threatened. We've got everything. We've got all the stuff where he's threatened to burn my house down. We've got the other videos. We've got people on phone brown. I tell you what he's even doing now. He's even been calling Decker Higgy. Known Decker Higgy. I can't stand Decker Higgy, as you know. You got him to phone me, you and your wife, to threaten me because Rhonda told us. Rhonda backed me up. There's no one can back me up, Rhonda, as well, his fucking ex. You got him to phone me up and pretend to be a gypsy to cut my throat. You and your fucking horrible wife. Shithouse. And then what you done when you came back from London, let's tell it. You haven't told people this story, have you? Let's get this right. The neighbours told me this the other week when I went up there. Right, he's in the house. And obviously these Irish lads were supposed to threaten him. So he's come up. He's gone home. Because I said, he said, "Oh, 7 people in the garden. We know it's fucking shite. We know he's made that up." 7 people from Ireland came over on a ferry. 2 different cars went to his house at 3 in the morning. Then went back at 4 and 5 and 6 and 7. It's just fucking, that's how mentally it's deranged. Now, what happened is, you got paranoid to fuck. Someone smashed your windows, which was the travellers, which I've already spoke to them. I know exactly who done it, and I know exactly why they've done it, and how much money you owed them. You had the month over £500. You owed the money for 3 months. You spent all the money getting my house smashed up. It cost £500 for the windows, because I've already got the lads who've done the windows. It's £500 to charge you for the window, £500 for the second window, £500 for the firework one, and £750 the fire bond because they had to pinch a motorbike. But he got caught off the leg with the motorbike, and booted him all over Middlesbrough. Then he got caught again, didn't he? The other one got kicked all over Middlesbrough. Then he got caught in fucking Billingham all over. But you still owe them money as well. You owe them money as well. They want the money back. You owe them £750. So you did a run over them. So the gypsies got you in Stokesley and smashed your face in the Queen's Head, knocked you clean out, battered you all over because you were sniffing coke in the toilets when it was one of their family's fucking wedding. because he's done the same with me. He was sniffing coke in the toilets of mine. I can prove it with everyone. How Bobby was there and everyone. He was in the toilet. How Frank said he's in there sniffing fucking coke at your wedding. So me and Emma had to stop the wedding and say, right, we're going to go with bad. We went bad. He was going round everyone, Johnny Coke, embarrassing. The Wembley's family, some of them, 2 of them are millionaires. My 2 brothers, they own golf courses. One lives Redcar and one lives at Saltbend. They own both golf courses. And a cousins, their nieces, a fucking top of the range singers on cruise ships. They sing on the ships. They go all over the world. They're fucking millionaires, the family. On top of the range things they've got, and then the twins have got pubs and clubs and bars and everything all over. And Jason, he's got a pub in Redcar. They're really well to do people, and that scumbag's going around. None of them take drugs, so he's going around asking people for drugs. He's going, he's embarrassing my whole family here, Brian. So look at him, he just can't stop, can he? And he's in the toilet and he's sniffing in the toilet. And the other mate was with his dad, Dean. He said he just can't stop, can he? He said he's fucking never. And then he said to Manioc, can you get it, Eddie? So Manioc, come on, told me. Manioc said he's asking me to get it. So when we went to the doing, Bishop Altman, when he was off his head again, full of dads, he said, shit, would you go to the police on me, Jamie? Because I'll just bring out the witnesses. I'll go and get the manager from the club. I'll go and get the doorman from the club. I'll go and get the fucking Drew and all them. Drew Nice, my friend, from up there. I'll get all them as witnesses. You just go and do your little statement and I'll get people to come and verify the stories that are proof. I can't get done for not telling lies. I'm not telling lies, I'm telling the truth. You were intoxicated, full of diazepam. You're full of drink. You're drinking that shite. And you're coming on today. You're going to take my channel down because you took about 6 pages down, just to let you know, the little weasel. You took Tina Shaw down. Why did you take Tina's down? Because she outed you and told the truth. Why did you take Carol Edwards down? Because she outed you. Who's Lee Duffy's mother of his children, because she wouldn't give you stories. So you've took down. So he's trying to get my page took down. And he's saying to people, everyone out there, phone YouTube or contact YouTube and say, we want this vile, evil bully, Brian Cockerill's tube taken down with his evil wife. Evil, my wife. My wife's never been evil in her life. Emma is the nicest soul you could ever meet. She's got the nicest heart you ever meet in your life. She's never had a fight in her life with anyone. She's not a fighter, but I've taught her how to fight now. I'm not sure how to throw the right hand and the left hook. I'm sure how to fucking bite them and everything now. So I've got her right really good. The power's unreal in the right hand. Knock him and sparkle that scruffy cunt. So the tramp sat there in the club, his tits and the drugs. So all the people said, he fell asleep in the crowd and he was asleep like that. And they're all going to put paint on him and magic markers and all that stuff. Like, no, I'll leave it. So then she went, oh, please tell me. And if you want to challenge me, go to the police, get me done. I'll bring your wife's text to me and text to my wife and text to Dave where they're all there. And I'll get all the other people there. Dave mate was there. The bald-headed lad who was sat next to you, he was going to break your jaw. And when you watch the video, if you've seen it, the lad comes up and does that to me in my ear. He says to me, don't you fucking batter him and throw him down the stairs. And then the doorman says to me on the way out, he said, don't you just knock him out here? I'll kick him all the way down the stairs. Just say he fell down the stairs. And I could have got you fucking annihilated that night. And I gave you half the money. And you blamed my poor brother who's got mental health, autism. Called my brother a mong. Yeah, calling people mongs. Called me a mong. But the thing is, all right, I am a mong. I'm a mong. I want to fight you then. Are we? Where do you want to meet me with your 20 ounce? 20 ounce Jims. You're a shit house. You're a coward. You've got no bottle. And I'm outing you again and again and again, but you daren't fight me because you're a shitbag. You're a stupid little fat pudding. That's all your answer's a pudding. You've never had a fight in your life with anyone. You're a coward. Bull Terry, I hope you're okay. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm just fucking sick of this divvy with his bullshit, with his little police friends. Well, that was it. So I've got to tell you this. So anyway, he's in the house. So the travellers have gone. I don't know if it was the traveller or the other lads with the Jeeps. No, the one who put the windows through. I'm not sure which ones. I know the travellers have put his windows through twice. And I know they've knocked him out in the Queen's Head, because the Queen's Head, my mate from Stockton's the manager, and Dickie Dido's cousin works there. She's a barmaid. So I know them there. So I already phoned and spoke to them and they've told us the story. So he was doing that, having coke in the toilets where the 14, 15-year-old kids were in front of the traveller. Got in there, fucking banged him straight out in front of his son. You're an animal, you just can't be. Even at the school we went to, you went to a school in down here, didn't you, with me in Thornaby? You were in there after you're popping diazepam at fucking 8 o'clock in the morning, no, 7 o'clock in the morning at my house. By the time we got there, at the BBC radio interviewed me, and I'm doing an interview telling kids not to take drugs and that, because I'm in the foyer with a lady from, it wasn't the BBC the big BBC. It was BBC Radio Tees, I think it was called. So I was on that, and the woman said, "Oh, that's marvellous what you said there. You know, it's just to help kids and things like that. What you're doing is marvellous." So I went and started talking about things and being good and all that stuff about the kids and everything, and they loved it. And the teacher said, the kids, they contacted and said, two of the kids said, "I'm not going to be mules like Brian Cockerill said. I'm packing in. I'm not taking any more drugs. I'm going to train like Brian Cockerill. I'm going to be strong. I'm going to get big." They're only like 13-year-old, 12, 13-year-old kids. And he's in there off his head going, "Does anyone know Paul Sykes?" And I went, "Paul Sykes, you're joking." Look it up now. "Does anyone know such a Dr. Buggles or something?" He went, "The funniest comedian ever." But he can't be, can he, Jamie? Because no one of the kids knew him. So I said, "Does anyone know Brian Cockerill?" "Yeah, we know you, Brian. My dad knows you, mate." And his face, he's jealousy. He's jealous to fucking death of my fucking fame and my notoriety. You haven't got no notoriety. You've got in, did a few books, and every book you've done is lies. And everyone knows the lies because the people on Teesside, you can't con people who live here. You've made things up about Lee Duffy and other people that didn't even exist. Lies you've made up. So why has all your books been taken down? Why is your shop touched? Why is Warcry Publishing, Warcry Press not in Company's House? Because they're not an entity. If they're not an entity, they're not a company. But they're not companies, the books are fraud. Why is Rubik's, right? Why is Rubik's only opened up a year after we went to, a year and a half later after we went to court with you? Because you had to open it because the other two were fraudulent companies. So now the HMC Customs and the Inland Revenue and everything's involved because you brought it and you said, "I've grasped it, I haven't grasped it." I asked you frequently over the years to give me information. I've got an email there off Rob Brenton. I can even show the email. Rob Brenton, your boss, you know, the books will be because of the court case and because of this, he said, the books are virtually zero. You don't get paid now till 6 more months' time for the electronic book. But for some strange reason, Amazon Kindle account has been closed. That's all made up. Found out it's all shite. So you're trying to tell me like Amazon Kindle, the biggest company in the world with books, it's been frozen for over 2 years. So what? Why are all the other people's open? Yours is the only one frozen. That was just a blag, Mr. Brenton. You're a fucking shithouse, you. I've got your accounts in your Barclays Bank. I know the accounts. You can't get rid of them. They're fucking in there, and you can't get rid of the accounts in Amazon. So that's what's going to trap you, the paper trail, and that's why you're closing down everything, Brenton. That's why you do one. That's why you sold your Rolls Royce. You're getting rid of your assets because you're onto you because they know what you're after, and you've never seen that little cunt for ages. You never see you and him together. And you told someone not long ago. The person told me he's ruined my fucking business. He's absolutely ruined my business. The way he goes on. All that stuff down in London, or screaming and shouting. And he said that was the worst video he did when he was calling Brian Cockerill a spastic, a retard, and all that. So I thought, you've ruined the business, you've ruined my business. And he told someone close to you who told me, and they've said he's absolutely ruined the business. We're going to go bankrupt. And this was about 9 months ago, and it looks like they've gone bankrupt now because the shop they had, it was called Mill. No, they did a Mill Down Bar. You had Mill Down Bar, that's been closed as well. He had a shop called 3 Bailey Gate, Pontefract, North Yorkshire, blah 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 blah. I can't remember the code number, but I'm going to screenshot it. I'll read it out to you. That's a court. That's from the courts. He's typing to me an email after the courts have contacted him and told him to give us a disclosure. So how have I got an email off your boss from Warcry Publishing, Warcry Press, Rubik's, telling the courts told him to give us it from the court off the phone? It's on my phone. Emma's got about 30, 40 different emails off him, proving we were at court. But you and your wife pretended you went to court on the court case. You never won it. That's why the court case is still on. The court case it's finished, but I've been given the stuff. It's already on. People are already looking into it for us. So even the woman in America had that. So he said even in America they were selling your books for not £50 a book they were selling them for. So I'm great because all that money I get 37.5%. You're finished. Yeah, Steve Max, what Mrs. Little daughter. Yeah, so you had that poor little kid petrified, fucking getting the police at the fucking house and everything, fucking for a dad, thinking he's going to go to jail, going to be on a roll. Not all my fucking blood body and Emma's, because we'd have had a year with us. So your little plan wouldn't have worked because we'd have took it in 100%. We'd have looked after him, made sure she got looked after and went to school fucking every day. So your little plan didn't work there. It's the same as anyone else. I'd help anyone's kid or anyone who was struggling. Just subbed, mate. Thank you. Freedom Hangman, I've just subbed. Thank you very much. Yeah, the more people that sub is great because it does his fucking brain in. So he's trying to get me taken down, guys. So if any of you know anything about YouTube, give them an email or whatever you can just to say, I watch that channel. You put it in your own words, you know what to say. And Brian doesn't do anything to hurt people. He's not inciting violence to anyone. Even him, I just wish he could get help. I wish he'd go to the rehab. He can't even fucking put his hand up and say, look, I've got a problem. Well, remember the other week, he said now he's been off drink 90 days. Have you seen the fucking state of it? Fucking, honestly, he's like a walking corpse. He looks like a dead person. You're laughing at my 2 teeth, no teeth. You've got none. He's got his head like that. Like that. When he's took his teeth out, danced with a pizza box, he's got no teeth. All right, I've got 2 teeth missing. My top ones are spotless. Yours aren't. You're a tramp. You've got piss-coloured teeth, brown teeth. You just tell lies all the time. What's happened with you now is you're like the monster of Teesside. You like young boys. Seriously, on the Jimmy Hall show. I'm like Oscar Wilde. We're both like young boys. Oh, fucking, that was the day I finished here. It was June. Maniac was with us. Maniac went. I said, he fucking knew my brother got raped and hanged himself through a paedophile. He's sitting there laughing about children being raped. I said, that's me, finished with him. Never again. I was skinny. You know what? Well, I've done this rant tonight in a way because I went upstairs. My brother, Skinny, was fucking lethal. He could have a fight for fun, but he was dangerous with weapons. He'd have wiped him out. He would have had no mercy and wiped the whole family out. Every one of them would have wiped the fucking lot of them out. He would have blown the 3 of them away completely. I'm telling you now, without a fucking even batted an eyelid. I went home and had a fucking burger. Wouldn't have batted an eyelid. He'd have wiped them all out. So that scumbag's calling dead people's family, like Steve's, one of Steve's family members, calling Steve's family members and upsetting his fucking daughter from something that happened 33 years ago or more, just to cause trouble, to hurt people, because that's what he does. He's fucking horrible. I could put things in about you, I could destroy you and your wife. I could put the emails what Emma's got off your wife, calling you Western fucking shit, calling you all these different names. We've got all the screenshots. We've got the proof. He bullies me. He's always bullying me. He's a bully like his dad. Alcoholic like his dad. The night of the do, she went, oh, please don't tell me he's done it again. He's drank, is he minging drunk, and is he, I don't know exactly the email, but Emma's got the emails. I've got the emails. I've got the texts. Other people have got the texts. We've got videos of him in there of people videoed him. Like that. Oh, honest to God. I'm going to tell you, Brian Cockwells. Brian Cockwells. Brian doesn't tell lies. You mean lies? That's what you're on stage talking in front of everyone. Then you go around doing this with the bottles, shaking them, drinking empty bottles of people with alcohol after you'd had 2 bottles of Bacardi and a bottle of whiskey, and then you've drank about 4 or 5 pints. When he does a piss for a piss test, it just comes out 110% proof. Fucking lies he tells. He's been sober now, he said, for 100 days. He's fucking never been sober in his fucking life. He said to me and Bobby, he said, I've been on this since I was 15 on the tablet and heroin and stuff. He said, I'll never get off it. I'm always going to be a junkie. I'll never be off it. And I felt dead sorry for him. I went, well, look at the state of me. And I was worse than you. So I gave him the speech and everything. I got him right. And I said, why don't you get off and I'll help you? So I was phoning, you all right? He said, me and Bobby were going to see him, taking him out for the day, going for meals. He never once, no, he bought 1 meal for me after getting him off for the £15,000, but he fraudulently conned the dole out of in Middlesbrough from Northallerton Dole. They ripped them off. And that can all be verified because it was all tape recorded by the HIP, not the customs. Yeah, the customs, not the customs. Fraud squad, sorry. The Dole fraud squad. They recorded me, and I did all that for him. Perjured myself or something. I didn't even fucking know. He told me that it was all a mistake and this, that, and the other. I felt sorry for him. I went in, got him off. But I've just got off for 12 grand and the 3 grand the other month. I bought the house with that. That was off Lee Duffy's book. So you use Lee to make money to buy a house. But then you call his family. You're fucking horrible. You're not a human being. You're horrible. You're torturing people. With all your little gaff fucking shitty things you put up. Susan, yeah, he's a weirdo, mate. Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah, we had City mate. You've got it spot on. It's all about the money, because he said to me on the night when we did the Lee Duffy book, he said, "You can't get out of this." Bam, 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 bam. She was going, "I'll say this and I'll do it." I went, "You do what you want. We're not fucking bothered." She went, "Well, please don't." She said, "What are you doing?" I was going 10, 9. So what happened? I did the book. It was called Once Upon a Time in Teesside. I didn't want to call it that. It sounded corny as fuck. I didn't want to call the other one the Resurrection Man. I wanted to call it The Return of the Taxman, because I'd been on the drugs for years, never seen me in the wilderness. I thought, but he put, the only person who can resurrect is Jesus. So it was a bad omen, really. Bram said it to me. Cal Valerie said the same. Don't do that name because it'll make you bad luck. And it's never been no bad luck. So we're getting that book back soon. It'll be getting changed the name. We're getting called The Return of the Taxman. Emma's going to mess about with it. We're getting that book back 1,000,000% very, very soon. And the audio book we're getting back as well. We'll make sure we get them back. And he won't make no more money off people, but he thinks he's a clever cunt. But the thing is with him now, he's been found out by everybody. The thing is, people aren't stupid. You can keep doing something over and over again, but people are saying, "Wait a minute, Brian's got all the letters from the courts. Brian's got all the letters from the what do you call it? There's no proof of invoices. Brian's got all the letters from the judge. He's got all the emails off the judge. He's also been on. So if I was lying and there was no court, why didn't he take me to court and sue me for pretending there's a court case? It never happened. Why don't, if you won this court case, Shelley, 3 times, you can't go to court in the magistrates for a civil case, because that's a criminal court. It's in the county. It's in the county court, where the Crown Court judges are. Civil cases. So there was no court cases on. We were all shut down. We had to do it from the force. So you lied, pretend we went to the magistrates 3 times and got off. No, you didn't. And because you made an explicit recording of the court hearing from your house and put it on video, and then made up video, the Junior Judge Cook was residing over the case, and Judge Gargan charged you for contempt of court. And Brenton went, "Oh, what it is?" He said, "It could have been anyone at our office. It has been made at our office because it come under War Cry Publishing." So he was charged for contempt of court, but got off again. Snitch. So they said, the judge said, if it happens again, you'll be charged. So he was charged under section 213, I think it was, of you're not allowed to record, take photographs or videos of anyone in a courtroom. But I wasn't in a courtroom. It was on we were on the phone, because I was here and he was at his house and Brendan was his house. The judge was in the courts. And we were in that conversation, but he recorded it and pretended that he walked free. So he put these magistrates up. "Can I go free?" he says. And he spliced that into these magistrates, but the magistrates he spliced it in, it was Spanish. Fucking, that's how thick they are. So everyone knew you were lying because of it. You got off with it. Why did I get all the letters then? If you got off with it and you walked free, why did you turn around and say there's no court cases? And then you said 2 years later, 2 years ago, you went, "There's no court cases, he's lying, he's making up." Well, why have you said 2 years later? Shelley's come on, went about 6 months ago, official topic talk one, where she's on there, she goes, "We walked free from the courts 3 times. But wait a minute, you said 2.5 years ago there was no court cases. Now you're saying 2.5 years there is court cases, but you've won." You just can't stop telling lies. That's the thing. People are on drugs like you used to, and on drink and shit. You can't remember the next fucking day when you've been on your drink. I know loads of people do it. They'll take coke and some go, where am I at? Don't even know. You wake up in the house, you don't even know where you're at. If you took that many drugs, especially when you take it with coke and E's and fucking downers, you don't know what day it is, and that's what you are. You don't even know where you're at. No phone, no text off the bus driver. So the last text I got off him, they barred him off the buses. He's been kicked off the buses, so he can't even go on a bus. You pissed the bus, causing trouble, shouting and threatening old people on the buses, in fact wanting to fight everyone because you're full of drink, full of drugs, Mr. Angry. But as soon as the drugs come down, dissipate in your system, which means disappears, the big angry, big hard man just goes like a little shit house. So anyway, I was saying, travellers went to his house and put his windows. So I don't know if it was the travellers or the lads from Billingham who smashed the windows here. So when they went there, he shouted, he's downstairs, she's downstairs, they're watching the telly. They've looked out, seen obviously the people coming. He thought it was the Irish people coming in his head. So he screamed and ran. So he's ran through the kitchen, ran through the passageway, ran through the kitchen, ran up the fucking stairs, because it's at the back of the house, the stairs, ran up the side of the house, he go up the top, and he's got up the top, he's ran in his bedroom, he's barricaded himself in his own bedroom, put the bed in front of the fucking door, put all furniture in there, and put his feet behind the bed and barricaded himself. So The people have already phoned the police. The police are on the way. You could hear the sirens coming, the neighbour said. But you can hear him shouting, help, help, screaming out the windows like a fucking banshee. They're going to kill me, they're going to kill me, screaming out the windows for help. So he's left his wife downstairs and his son screaming like a little girl upstairs. So when the cops come, they went, oh, you're going to have to get him. She said, I think he's going to kill himself because he's told me this morning that they're only on one way out of it. He said, I'm going to have to hang myself. But that's what Shirley does, you see. She'll play the victim. She'll play the bit where they think they're dead tough and hard, and then they'll play the victim. And that's what they do. They play on and off, play games with people. But people are on them now. Don't forget to push the like buttons, guys. 71 thumbs up, 130 on. So they play the victim, but it's all out in the bag now. You know when they say it's out in the bag, or his masks fell off. So he was screaming, "They're going to kill me! They're going to kill me!" Left his wife and son downstairs. What if they were real? Look at me. I was straight out that door. As soon as they come, you can see me on the front trying to get into the fuckers, but they drove off. They were that frightened. They ran off and dropped the fucking the smoke bombs they had in the hands to put through the letterbox. I chased them. They ran off. I'm fucking virtually paralysed. I'm still getting up to fight them. And that coward, perfectly two normal good legs and arms, instead of picking something up like a knife or a fucking axe or something, they ran upstairs, locked the door, and locked his kid and his wife out the door, screamed like a little girl. Now that's when he got moved to fucking apparently Northumbria. Then he got Carl Walker lifted. So he said it was Carl Walker. Carl Walker's done this, Carl Walker, this, Carl Walker. Then he turned around and said, Carl Walker's a liar like you. He's not even Irish. So if someone you threatened you in an Irish accent, oh, thank you very much, Weird City. Coffee don't go, people. Just give from the top. Yeah, the coffee thing's a nightmare. Absolute nightmare to pay because loads of them haven't been paid and everything. All them people have donated bits and bobs to them haven't been paid for 2 months, but they haven't got a clue. So everyone's got on the phone, email to them. Fucking, they always rip you down these fucking YouTube. They take 30% off you, sometimes 40% of whatever you do. And then I won't get paid for this tonight because I'm obviously calling, I'm obviously fucking telling the truth about that cunt. So they'll put another one in to try and get me took down. But the thing is, you put it in, I'm not fucking bothered. Give me another strike, I don't give a shit. At the end of the day, you're just an idiot. You just tell lies and you can't stop telling lies. So you're telling YouTube lies now. So he's gone from telling the police lies to YouTube. So he's trying to get people defamation of characters on me. There's Mistress General and MC Road Dog. Yeah, I know that's a real person. That it's like a spray tin. I remember that person's real. Yeah, Channel 27 looks like him. Joe Minshaw. Can't believe Danny Christie's back on the packet ride. Packet ride, mum, better get her. Gum shield and laugh out loud. I don't know what that means, that mate. Packet, I don't know what the packet means. Yeah, so I was going to say, so he's at it again when he's fucking that lies, making things up, saying, Brian's done this to me and done that. I was done out to you. Did nothing. If I'd done out, I'd have been locked up and charged now. You've been doing this for 3.5 years. He's bullying me 3.5 years. No, I asked you for invoices. How's that bullying you? It's like you was going to working in the supermarket, saying, right, I want 600 quid this week. And you come and you get your money. You think, 300 quid? It's 300 quid short. This isn't right. So you go to the manager and say, look, I'm not being disrespectful. Could you check that, please? I think it's a mistake. So when he sent me 25 quid for fucking the taxman books, come on. The first book I was doing was making thousands of pounds a month. That was 20 years ago, right? So how's the other book going to make less? The one I did was Steve Wraith. The ones I did was Steve Richards. They did well. So he's trying to tell me he only made £130 when it first come out on Kindle. Fucking shit. Some lies all the time. £130. He said it was a Kindle. When it came out on Kindle the first night, it was the bestseller. So how could it only made £130 if it was the bestseller? You just talk shit. You can't remember what you're saying, what you're talking about. You're an idiot. I don't take drugs. I used to. I've been off them for 4 years in September. I never took nothing. You keep coming on, oh, he's off his head on drugs. Well, how come my eyes are normal, Jamie? How come I'm not sweating? Nothing. How come I look normal every time I come on? You don't, because you're a drug addict. You can't even admit to your own family you're a drug addict. Going on about your son, you disrespect his son every day of the week. All the kids at school are laughing at you. All his friends are laughing at you. Our young boys are all laughing at you. All the kids at school, my nephews go to the same school. They're all laughing at him. The kid at school is getting tortured. Even the one said to me, Emma, The poor kids getting tortured through him at school. They're torturing him. All the kids, kids are cruel and they're at school. No, I'm not doing it. It's doing, the kids at the school. She keep, they're all laughing at you. The whole world's laughing at you. Because you can't tell the truth. Why don't you just go and get help and get yourself in the rehab? I've been telling you for the last three years or so. I've not tortured you once. I've never sent you any threats. If I had, I'd be charged. I haven't sent you any malicious communications. I'm telling the truth about you. Freedom, some baghead, the same thing in the flats, threatening to jump out of them. Yeah, they start playing all that victim shit. Yeah, they start playing all that victim shit. Like they're the Eli's good, did he? Eli. Yeah, into just banner. And man, adits. No, you haven't seen that, mate. Respect from Leeds. Thank you very much, mate. Yeah, that's what we've got. Backup channels already done, mate. What we've done, we've took loads off, put them in the side there now, because he's just an idiot, mate. See, I'm not bothered if he takes me down and this channel comes off. It doesn't bother me. I'm not here for the money. I'm here to tell the fucking truth to people. I'm not here to fucking thousands of pounds or just like him robbing people. He's never paid a fucking 1 pence to charity apart from £9 and £6. That's all he ever paid. He's a compulsive liar. He's a cheat. He's out there with young rent boys and everything, which everyone knows. He gets off the train and goes, "Can anyone point me where the rent boys are?" What does that mean? It's obvious what he's doing. Then he's in the gay clubs. If you're gay, you're gay. He said it on Jimmy O show. I'm going to come out next to you. I'm gay. Maniac said, "You've just come out with it now. Your own son's friends are watching this. You're embarrassing your friends. That's why your mum and dad and everyone have not done you. You're embarrassing your whole family. That's why they've chased you out of Middlesbrough. You can't come back to Teesside. No, but you'll never ever live in Teesside again now. You're not allowed to go. You can't go down the town have a drink anywhere around here. Anywhere. You're getting beat up every time you come back. Because you've ruined yourself with your lies. It's all come out now. You can only lie for so long and the people can see through your lies. Your mask fell off when you're down London, when you called me a spastic and a retard and a monk, Brian the spacker, Brian the fucking monk, all these horrible words what we had in the 70s. But you've got up in the 21st century. It was only you would come up with words like that. Evil. There's kids out there with in wheelchairs and other people. It's called the Disability Act. I could have you charged now for about 5,000 different malicious communications you sent me and threats to kill me, beat me up, shoot my wife, shoot me, stab me. I could have you charged with all of them there. And their hate crime, which is worse than slander. Hate crime is one of the worst things, especially under the Disability Act. It's a really bad thing you can get charged for now. People are going to jail for 3 months for just saying one thing. But when you go, if you say Brian the Monk, if you're when you do it like that, it's 3 or 4 times worse. I was talking to a barrister 2 weeks ago, and he said when you say the word, it's bad, but when you do what the person's going through, it psychologically makes people ill, and they could take their lives. So they've clamped right down with it now. Something like 80% of people getting charged with going to jail for it. It's that bad. Because there's that many people take their own lives for scumbags like him. That's what he said. He said, we need to take him down before somebody, because I said this about him, he's a danger to the public and his own child and his wife. He is a danger to his own child and wife. Because what he does, and as people come to the door all the time for him, that's why his own family threw him out. His own mother locks the door when he comes. Your mum locks you out. She's frightened of you. Tell me that's lies, and I'll go and see that. I'll go and see your family, and I'll go and get a video of them. I'll do a full video with them all. We'll see how clever you are then, because I've already talked to your nephews. They've already told me. He worked for Borough, my mate Glenn Bartlett, and he worked with Maniac, and he said, "Oh, he's away with the fairies." I said, "He's telling me in the hospital." Tina Shaw was there, Carl Edwards, Little Ebo, Darren Yu, all them were in the hospital, and Peter, with a kid called Peter, he was there, and they were telling me the stories, and then because they all know you, I didn't know you, I'm never heard of you. And everyone's the same. His own father and that one of them in the house, and none of them, because he causes that much trouble between all the family members. Every one of them are bad, and not one. Every member won't let him in the house. His own daughter won't even let him near his own grandkid. Not allowed neither. So see, that's defamation of character. There's no defamation, it's the truth. You can't say, if you say something, it's the truth. Like the coppers, you know exactly what you're doing to me. And I'll even get Judge Cook. I'll get Judge Cook. Peter Fox, sorry, Judge Cook. Peter Fox, I'll get him to fucking verify you were corrupt and you were taken into his fucking chambers. If you want to challenge me, Cleveland Police, Stockton Police. You haven't even answered my phone. I've had a phone 37 times in one day. And all I get is beep, beep, keeps going off, beep, beep, going off every time I put it on. Because what happens is, they know your number. You know, they've got your number. They can just go out and turn it off. That's what they're doing, just being fucking scumbags. So I'm still waiting for your warrants to arrest me, charge me. You've got fucking jack shit. And you know what? I hope, and I really do hope, I hope they arrest me for something stupid when I go to court. Then we can bring all our evidence forward. We can bring the fucking lot then, and it'll bury him. Absolutely bury him. Yeah, that's what he did, cry at the end. Yeah, that's what he does. Yeah, cry, baby. There's all that shite to come all that skin when he kills himself, and then they just go, then they start going, I'm bad because he did this to me and she did that, and all the sympathy shit and shite. He's done this now with him. He did it on the Paul Suggett show. Paul Suggett said, there's a video of him. If you see him on the documentary, have a look. You'll see him. He's yawning. He's fucking filthy. He hasn't had a bath for days. He's like a smigging t-shirt on. He's doing a documentary. Paul Lee Duffy, sorry. He's in there. I think it's not the King's Edge. I can't remember which pub it is. He's in the pub anyway in South Bank. And he's there and he's going, yawning like that 17, 18, 19, 20 times. And I said to someone, what's that? Are you tired? He went, no, that's a crack. No, that's a rattle off the heroin that makes you yawn like mad, like a lion. And he's yawned like mad because he's obviously got more heroin in him. So he's been on the heroin all night, and that's what that is. That one there, he's like a paraffin lamp again. You've seen the state of him. You don't have to believe me. You've seen the state of him, all these situations he's been in. And everywhere we went, he was the same. He'd just come like a tramp. Everywhere he used to wear that pedo parker. He had a parker like a pedo and like a train spotter. Like that with a fucking parker on now. You get that fucking parker off, you look like an idiot. Because his head's that big fat head he's got with the parker on, his big pot belly sticking out. He's about 17 that clem. Because he's now can't afford to buy the whiskey and the brandy and the Bacardi. So now he's on the cans. That's what the bus driver said. Every time I see him, he's got a bag full of cans, sitting on the bus, drinking on the bus in front of everyone. Doesn't give a fuck. Not bothered. And he starts being nasty on the bus, but they've actually barred him off the buses. Newcastle buses have barred him off now. That's good news for the bus driver. He hasn't texted me for ages now. Don't forget to push the like buttons. So he's been found wanting. There's no more books on it. Oh, that's what he's saying. He's got a new project. He's doing the Paul Sykes movie. Fucking hell. He never stops. He's banging the fucking flogging a dead horse. And now he's getting another one where he's doing a Ripper tours on a bus. No, you aren't. It's been stopped. Before you even go to do it, it's been stopped. It's been stopped. You're never going to do another book again. You're finished. You tried to get some books done not long ago. And you know I know this, do you? Because I'm in with the book people, and they wouldn't do the book with you. They told you no. They told you no, I'm not doing the books for you. I know people in the business. I've been doing books before you were fucking doing it. I've been doing books since 2020. No, 2000 I got my first book. I've been doing books since 2000. I've done national documentaries. I've done movies. I've done fucking another national documentary called Donald McIntyre. I did another national documentary, Burned Over My the Essex Boys, Gangsters of the Underworld, Faces of the Underworld, them books and documentaries. I've done them. I'm in them. It's the 40 biggest gangsters in British history. I'm in them books. You're no one, you've got an out. I'm also in another one called Gun Nation, with the Manchester lads and other people from all over the country talking about the Ronald Moore. There was a dispatch that was made called The Girl Margaret. She's Scottish, and he was Scottish, the lad who come in the video of me in that doorway. It was on Channel 5, and I was only on about 6 minutes or something, but it was on. So we can't do this without the tax man. And that's what they would do. They come to Teesside to see me. No one else, just me in Teesside to do these documentaries and movies and films. The Birmingham film I did last year, it'll be out this year. And then we did the movie last year, the Sayers one, A Different Breed. I think it's out now. To tell you the truth, I'm in that. But You never going to be in a movie, Damien. You just lied. There's no movie. You pretended you had a movie deal with Western Edge Pictures. Western Edge Pictures haven't done nothing since 2014. They've done nothing. That was when it was going to get done. So you then jumped on the bandwagon, because I told you Steve Richard did a book with Lee Duffy, and what he done is he pretended he was going to do a movie about 5th grade with Lee Duffy. So he bought a hall, he rented a hall in Newcastle, or Gateshead, I think it was, and it cost £100. It cost about £100 for like the sandwiches and stuff and people to come. So people coming to audition. Andy Hutt, I think he was called, passed away in Lovely. I was going to play Lee Duffy. So he went for the audition, got the part, proper actor, and that was going to happen. But when I talked to Steve Richard, no, I never was going to do the movie. So what it was a publicity stunt. So Peter would think, I'm going to buy the book before I watch the movie. So he made £100,000 off that. He said to me, that's a little scamming. But in 1 year, they made 100 grand more off the books. But it was all a made up thing. So he heard me saying that and told him and Brenton. And they went ahead and made the lies up. So they've contacted Brenton's contacted the normal papers. Oh, we're doing a movie, which I could get Steve Rafe to do it tomorrow. He'd be able to do it. Stephen said, we're doing a movie. I've just done one in the paper. You'll see. You put in who's Brian Cockerill in the Sun, you'll see where I'm ranked in there. The 5th biggest gangster in British history. So why would I be in these type of papers and things, Jamie, if I wasn't this so-called big name? Because you're no one. Because all these people come to me to do things because of what I've done in the past. No one comes to you. You went to them and you lied and pretend to give them 37.5%. There was no 37.5%. It never existed. You rip people off. You give them 20 quid ears and 40 quid. Because of the COVID, you get the next month, or this has been took off the shelf because of this, and all the Amazon Kindles have been frozen for some strange reason. I've got that text on my phone, but it's upstairs because I can't try to read them in the week to you, but it interferes with the screen. I'm fucking useless with computers, but you thought because I was useless with computers, I'm not useless with money, and I'm not useless for working people out, and I could tell what you were doing. I just knew you were calling people. I just knew. Matty Turner, God rest his soul, you tortured that old man. He knew you were robbing people. And when we asked for the invoices, you wouldn't give us them. The judge explicitly told you to give us them for over 2.5 years. And the day of the trial, you lost them. You lost them on the day of the trial, the invoices. No invoices. 2.5 years with the invoices. So Judge Cook said, well, what have you given us to Cockerill in the last year? When I first went up, that was 2021, I think it was. February, I think it was. And he's... No, January, I think it was, January. What have you given us a couple of royalties be? How much money off each book? And nothing. No, he said the word nout. This was Rob Brenton. He went, nout. And he said, nothing, sorry. Nothing at all. In 12 months, you haven't given any proof. He said, well, he's not entitled. Can I speak to you on? He said, yes, you can, Mr. Cock. I said, I do believe that if someone brings you into their business, say, for instance, say Manchester United, say the player, they said, right, you're going to be on 250 grand a week since in December. We'll sign you now, October. We'll give you 100 grand a week, October, November. When December comes, you go to 250. Now, if they don't match that, and they give you 50 grand, 40 grand, and 60 grand, they breach the contract. So you breach the contract. When I asked you for the invoices, I had to go for a pre-action disclosure. So the judge awarded me that, where you had to give me proof of how many books were sold, where and when, and how many books were printed. You wouldn't give us it. The reason why you wouldn't give them it was detrimental to you and your business, because it would prove that you owed a lot more money than what you did, and it would have proved that it was fraud. So you didn't do that. You kept it. And when I was with the judge one day waiting for you because you never turned up, I was on the phone talking to him 20, 30 minutes before he turned up. He's phoned up and said, oh, we're not coming in, we've got COVID. The judge turned on and said, what it seems like to me, Mr. Cockerill, it seems a clear case of fraud. He said the next thing they'll do is pull the rug under your feet away. I said, bankruptcy, you've got it spot on in one. That's what they're going to play. They'll start selling the books cheaper, and everything Judge Gargan said, God bless him, he was right. You're doing everything what that judge said. They'll start selling everything. Once he sold his Rolls Royce, he's got rid of his Doyle's had to move from his house. Boyle, he's had to move. And I think the main reason, because I don't think they've moved because of the people coming to his house. I think he's moved to blow all the money on, get my house smashed up and blow it on drugs. I think they got behind, and with the money with the mortgage is going up, and he couldn't afford to pay it. They weren't making no money, because when I started going to court, when I went to court and told everyone, and I went on here and everything, all the money started dissipating. People stopped buying the books because they knew it was lies. We went down to Waterstones, me, Marty, Robbo, and Terry, we got our books took off the shelves. I was in a wheelchair. I'd have beat you in a wheelchair. Spacker in a wheelchair beat you. Mong in a wheelchair beat you. And you put Little Britain. This is Little Britain. Well, that's defamation of character again. That's the hate crime again. You haven't got a clue. You haven't got a clue. Your wife's supposed to be this legal secretary. She works for the gas board and answers the phone in the Citizen Advice Bureau. That's all she does. When I asked you to type me a letter to help Bobby, I knew you couldn't type because when I seen Duffy, I can't spell. I'm dyslexic, but I know how to spell Duffy. It doesn't have one F. There's two F's. So I thought, you're dyslexic, or you can't write. So I said, do us a favour, show you. I'd love to be able to type. My niece is great. My sister-in-law is even brilliant. How Diane, how Jamie's ex-partner, she's puts them things up, fucking thousands of words coming up, and unbelievable. She's done it for about 30 years. She's a stenographer, so she can listen to it and do it. So I said, oh yeah. He said, oh yeah, I can do all that easy. But my hands are killing me today. He said, I've been working I work 7 days a week. No, you don't. All lies. Your wife told me it's shit. You sit listening to the old porn things on you all day long and then talking to women and talking to fucking watching disgusting pornos all day. You don't work at all. Your wife does the books. Because when I told you to type, you went, well, I'll do it tomorrow. Then the next day came the next. So after about 8 days, I went, you can't type, you can you? I went, no, just my hands are killing me in there. I said, well, just type something like the cat sat on the mat. Just something like that. Just show me you can type. Couldn't do it. I'll give you 100 quid if you can do a letter. Couldn't do it. Because you can't type. You're a liar. So I caught you out again. I'm too clever for you. You were never typing when I was there. It was all like pretending and all that noise. Doing all that. And when I come over, there was nothing getting written down. So I thought, yeah, I'll just be doing that. Like me. Look at that. Type. I can type, look. Fucking hell, I'm fast as fuck. Look at that. My bad hand and everything. That noise was doing that. I'm going to turn around, go around the corner, look at him. There's nothing written. I thought, you're fucking lying, you know. Did it the type doing that. So then I said to his wife, can you help my brother get his gas on? Because he got his gas took off. She hadn't a fucking clue. She works for the guy. She said, I'm a legal secretary. I'm a legal secretary for a law firm. Found out she worked for, there's no embarrassing work for the Citizen Advice Bureau because it's a good job. We're helping people. But she doesn't. She works for the Citizen Advice Bureau and works for the gas board for the gas. Hello? Gas? When they can't tell, the both of them are just totally narcissistic cranks, the both of them. She's from Harrogate. But her sister lives, and a brother-in-law, and a brother. Ooh. My brother lives down there as well, doesn't he? Thinks he's tough, but he thinks he's a bit of a skinhead and all that. Divvy with tattoos. Thinks he's tough. And the ex-husband, the husband's all right, actually. When she went to go to court, the kids went to stay with the mum. The kids went to stay with the dad. I thought, alarm bells. Why would two young girls want to stay with the fucking mum, not the mum, instead of the dad? Doesn't make sense. And I've talked to people who are sitting advice, people who are in social services, and they went, the only reason that happens is they're a horrible mum. Because no girls go with the fucking dad, never. And then when he had them in the house, taking shit in front of them, and then in front of his own son, abusing him, taking the drugs in front of them, they fell up with him. The kids were only 14, 15-year-old. Threw them out the house Christmas Day, so they had to get a taxi home to Harrogate. £44 they had to pay. And he said, you're never going back there again. They've never been back since. I think they've been back to see her when he's been away or something. But his favourite saying, like Terry said, when the cat's away, the mice will play. And that's what he does. But she knows what he's doing. So I said, and you go to your sleep with this one and that one and this one and that one. You know, I think it's quite funny. And I realised that, man, I thought, you like all this. You're probably fucking videoing it and things like that. Proper weirdos, the both of them. Everyone who lets left and right, their husband sleep with other people and not bothered. There's definitely no love in that relationship. There's definitely something twisted and evil. But, for fuck's sake, Alex Reid. Yeah, Alex Reid's his mate. What he does is, I think what he does every now and then, the swap. They're all in the same hotel, Alex Reid and him. And it's Alex Reid stayed with him for 3 days, but Alex Reid come away, he said, he was giving me these fucking things called Parmesan that were stinking. He said, nah, he's spotless, Alex Reid. You can see, I can see that. He said his house was filthy. He was telling people I know down Essex way and that. He said, his house, I'm not going back there. He said, his house stinks. I can't sit in there. He was bringing these neighbours in next door with their scruffy and that. He said, we're filthy. The dog was jumping all over me. He said, I don't like it. And then the other one comes, Alan Thompson, the footballer, he went, yeah, I've sold all the tickets, Alan. I've got them all 200 tickets sold and all this lies. And when he come down, it was in the village, in Linthorpe village. So I got something to go buy in a car, and there was two lads with a Celtic. He was a good player, Alan Thompson. I think he played quite a few games for Celtic. He was a good player. So he stayed with him, but Alan Thompson ended up catching. They had to go to this do on the night. So when they went to the do, we got there. You know, when he tickets they sold two. Told me he sold 200. He couldn't even fit 200 people in this place. So he lied to him. So he said, I only found out this later on because Terry told me. So Alan Thompson caught COVID. So Alan Thompson had to stay. He was there for 4 days. They'd done the do of the night. The next day, he got up, he was bad. Got tested, and he had COVID. And you know yourself, you have to stay in the house tent. So he had to stay at that house 14 days with Jamie Boyle and Shirley, feeding him parmesans and kebabs. And he said, sniffing every 2 minutes. He said, so what happened? He was coming home. He went in the Twisted Lip, the pub. I think it was a Twisted Lip. He went, all right, mate. He said, yeah. He said, where are you from? He said, up Scotland and all that. He said, where have you been? He said, I've been at this lunatic called Jamie Boyle, the author. He said, I've just done a book with him. He said, it's the worst 14 days of my life. I will never come back to Middlesbrough again. He said, he's had me in the house eating these parmesans. That's all he ever eats. That's why the two pigs. Parmesans every day because she can't cook. She just eats. You know, when you eat food to live, she lives to eat. She lives to eat. She can't wait to get up. I'm fucking never seen anyone eat so much. Anyway, so Thompson then turned on and said to the bar manager, because Terry knew the bar manager. Yeah, I've been in there 14 days. He said, sniffing all the time, up and down the stairs, arguing with his wife all the time, shouting and bawling. He said, watching shit films. He said, is completely fried. He said, I can't wait to get back home. He said, never ever will I come back to Middlesbrough after with the experience I've had with him. So there's a fucking footballer. Couldn't stand him. And Alex Reid did a bad thing with him of the week. And I think Alex Reid was embarrassed doing it because he cut it off halfway through. But there's no defamation of character. There's no slander. It's the truth. You can't handle the truth. So where's my channel getting taken down, Jamie? What we've done, we've just put them on private. And if you take it down, so what? People have already heard the story now. People who are watching this, just record it, keep this channel for yourself. You can always go back to it and get taken down. But he's just, he's been found wanting, as I say, in the old night stays. The nights would have fights with a horse, and the last 2 seconds ago, you've been found wanting, or the jousting, both of them knock him off the horse. He ran upstairs and left his wife and kid downstairs, thinking these fucking IRA or whatever were coming for him. IRA, fucking the RAC, the fucking it was AA, I think it was coming for him. The fucking IRA, what a fucking crank. The RAC, you fucking can't. He's fixing the idiot with the RAC. He went, oh, it's the IRA. It was the RAC. Hello, it's the RAC, which is one of the insurance for your car. It's the IRA's coming, run, Shelley. Shelley Picnickers run up the stairs. Fucking hell, she said downstairs. He ran up. Went upstairs, left his kid barricaded himself. I don't hang myself. She put it all over the internet. He's going to hang himself. But that's about the 20th time he's played that little trick. He did it on the Paul Suggett show. They're bullying me. I'm going to hang myself. People like you, cowards like you, don't hang yourself. You just bully other people into hanging themselves. Yeah, don't forget to push the like buttons. Yeah, well, what it is, Donna, he doesn't actually he doesn't actually write the books. His wife types the books. He goes out, and what he does, he goes and gets dictaphones, records people, and what he does there, he asks them serious things like, who murdered Tommy Smith in 1984? Because there's a double jeopardy law now, which was Billy Dunlop. He was done for Julianne Hogg, which my mate little Hoggy. It was Hardwick, it was his wife. She used to go in the pub in the big night out. She used to go in there, and Billy and we were at the door there. And she went home and she was murdered. And her body was put in the Cleveland police again. Crook bastard. They didn't even check the house right properly for her. So 2 weeks later, I think it was, the mum found the daughter dead under the bath. They never even looked under the fucking bath. Didn't do the job again. Cleveland police. Two bad bastards. If it was coke there, they'd have found it. They'd have fucking took it home for themselves. So what happened is they brought the mum, give the mum the due. What a lovely woman, you know. I've never met her. I've seen her. I've seen the House of Commons where she sat at the front of the MPs and that. She went there for tooth and nail. So what you used to do before, if you went to court, they haven't got it in America, only here. If you went to court, you were found not guilty, you could never be tried for that same murder. Even if you went out and said, yeah, I did that murder, you couldn't do nothing. You were tried in the peers of 12 people. So you've got to say 6 men, 6 women, found you not guilty, they can't do you. But they brought the law now, it's called double jeopardy. So the double jeopardy law has been brought out now where you can be retrialed for anything. So that's why he was saying to me, who killed Viv Graham? He started saying all this shit he was saying to me. And who killed this one? Who killed that? I said, I fucking don't know. There's that many people for the Viv Graves, that many people have been charged and arrested for. Never went into details. But he pretended that I said, I've told him who it was. He was going to have the tinfoil tapes on. That's malicious. Well, he made all the lies up. I'm getting the tinfoil tapes on. So one night on the Paddy Conroy show, 400 people contact me, said, he's just been on there saying he's going to go on Paddy Conroy's with the tinfoil tapes where Brian Cockerill is going to reveal the murderer who killed Viv Graham. Went great, because it's all shit. And about 10 minutes through it, the little mate Don, he's all know Don, Darlington, my little friend, he said, what's happened? He said, his wife come out, there's no tinfoil recordings. There never has been any. There's none for Brian talking about Viv Graham murder. And then he just looks like a fucking idiot. And then she said, and then Conroy come on and went, and the fight with Brian Cockerill. Not that whatever Conroy said, not that I'm for living a month with Brian, but I've got to tell the truth. He did go there. I've seen him with my own eyes. He did offer him and Dave Garside. And we went, and he did go in the pub. Brian offered him out twice, and he waved him on like that. He didn't want to know. And he did it twice to him. And Conroy said, Brian did offer him out twice. Brian would have destroyed him in a fight, some words to that effect. He wouldn't have had a chance. That's why he wouldn't get up. So that's his boyfriend. He loves. That's the one where he was in. We went to Newcastle. I've told you before where he was in the do where we were going to do a 3-part documentary, and he went, "Can I just play the part where Paul Sykes bums me in the cell?" And the one from the BBC and one from Channel 5 went, "Oh, that's it. We'll have to go." And like Stephen says, went, "Get in that corner away from it." Well, Stephen Rafe was there, me and Emma. And he had a chance of a 3-part documentary with the BBC. He deliberately done that. So because they weren't interested in Paul Sykes. They went, do you know Paul Sykes? Never heard of him. You know Viv Graham? Never. Do you know Lee Duffy? Never heard of him. I said, you know Brian Cock? Yeah, we're here for you. They're trying to tell me they want to do a 3-part with me. And anyway, when he said, if there's any movies to be made, he would put his hands in the air, ran across the floor, bent over, and went, I'll just get bummed in the cell of Paul Sykes. And these 2 women, one was really posh. I think she was like a second, the tweed, like farmer ones, really posh. You see in courts and that. She was like a solicitor, making sure everything's like okay. But when he said that, they said, I think we'll leave it now. And when I contacted her, she said, the reason why we didn't do it is because what he said. You're right, Brian. She said, we were going to do it. She said, but we can't. Him talking like that. I said, my colleague was disgusted in him, absolutely disgusted. It was going really well until he said that. She said that ruined the whole atmosphere, and it just felt sickly inside. You see, normal people don't like things like that. What about bumming people up the backside and all that? And he thinks it's funny. And then, he's just been found. Peter, he keeps going about Paul Sykes. Paul Sykes was a nonce. I'm telling you now, 100% paedophile. And so was Showers, Delvey Showers. They both used to rape kids in Armley and in Liverpool and in fucking in Manchester, strange ways. And he used to do it in home in Durham. He's known for it. Everyone knows. And every single person knows he was having it. Who in the right mind's going to let somebody put a page 3 girl in the back of you and have sex with him, even if you are gay? He obviously was doing raping them because he loved that persona of holding them down and raping them, because he did 21 years or 24 years in jail. He didn't have to go in jail. He was quite clever. He could have stayed boxing. He was quite a good boxer. He was never a great boxer. And he only had bottle when it was something like 50-50. But it come to somebody bigger and stronger, and his ass went. Dave Garside offered him out twice. He shit himself. I offered him out twice. Lee Duffy offered him out once. And he admits this on one of the Jimmy O shows. But he pretended Lee offered him out twice. Lee offered him out once. So he always has to make it look bigger, to make him look like he knows more than me. It was me who actually told him about Lee Duffy. Lee told me the story. And when I told him the dates and times, he went, yeah, you're right about this. They were doing that we were going to do the Once Upon a Time in Teesside book. But obviously he ruined it because I gave him 50,000 words. I think it was 80,000 words. I think it might have been 50,000 or 80,000. 50,000, I think. No, maybe 80. And I said, well, where have you got the other 30? He said, I've got 130 now. I said, "Where have you got the 30,000 words?" He went, "Oh, I've just put my own spin in it." Yeah, but it's not your spin, it's my story. He had Lee stealing at a pound shop. So there was no pound shops in 1991. And he had all these things that were all made up, apart from being like a robot and knocking people out like the Terminator. Absolute shit. So I said, "I'm pulling the plug on it. I'm not having that." And that's the day I finished when we went to Jimmy O. And he started talking about young boys, which I'm just telling you about, where Oscar Wilde, the gay author. And both was like, we're both gay. Oh no, I'm going to come out, I'm gay. We're both like young boys and we're both authors. And that's when I finished him. And then he said, "Right, we're going ahead with this without your permission. We've got permission off you. And we don't need your, we can go ahead with this. Go out and do it." I said, "Well, it's my story, it's my book, it's my content." So we tried to go ahead with the book, but we got it stopped. Didn't I? I was fucking stopped and you were fucking gutted. And Sherry was going, "Can you think on it, please, Petal? Please, love," and all that shit. She was saying, how we darling, please, love. She said, "How we think about it? We've done 3 months more." She said, "Well, what's Brian done? It's Brian's story for over 30 years ago. He had that story. It was to keep. Like the goes and tell us, we're laying him. The stories that people didn't hear about him, and like, he's kept that and give it to you, and you ruined it." So she said, "Brian won't sell Lee down the river. We'll give you more money." I went, "It's not about the fucking money. It's about my loyalty to the Duffy family and Lee and Laurie and Louise and all them, his sisters and that, and his mum and his dad and them." I said, "It's not to do with the fucking money. The money can be 100% of the book. I wouldn't be interested." And then she said, "What's he doing?" She said, "Well, I phoned Brenton." I said, "Look, I want proof to see what he said." When Brenton sent it to us, it was only little, but we got something to blow up. We blew it up and we got it in big writing. And it was fucking atrocious. The lies he was telling about Lee. "Oh, you hit people for now, you've done this." And he wasn't interested in money, he just wanted to sadistically beat people up. He was evil, he was this, all these horrible things that I've written about Lee. So I said, "That's good." So I went 5, 4. So she said to Emma, "What's going on? He's giving it away." I said, she went, "I'll go ahead anyway. Fuck you. I'm just going to go ahead. You won't be able to do that about it. I'm a legal secretary." I said, "Well, go fuck yourself, legal secretary, because I've got the proof and I've got the book in front of me." "No, you haven't. You're just lying." I said, "I've not. Blah, 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 blah." She said, I said, "Oh, did you get it off?" I said, "I got it off Rob Brenton." She phoned Rob Brenton. "Oh, please don't, please." She started begging me then. "Please don't give the book away. Please, all the work we've done." I said, "No, I'm not selling my mate down the river. Watch this. 5, 4. She went, "What's you doing?" She went, "He's countdown to the book." "Do you know what?" She went, "Don't be doing that on Lee's anniversary." I went, "You know what, Lee Duffy? Thank you very much, brother. Love your son. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Buff. Give it all over the internet to everyone." So they could never write a book about Lee and destroyed them. And that's why he hates me. That's the main thing, and people don't know, because I give that book away as well. So I took that book off him, completely wiped him out, and I wouldn't do the other book with him. I was going to do. So that was what. And the book what I've got now, I've took off him. So that's 3 books. And Teddy's got 2 books off him. And Marty's got the book. And all the others will get the books back. Everyone's going to get the books back. And that's what's killed him, because he's got no money now. He can't go and take his big cocktails and his drugs and all that. He's sitting on cans like a tramp under the. He's going to be like Paul Sykes. He's just wanting to be him. And Peter, sorry, she said, "Oh, you can't do this. You can't do it. We'll sue you." I said, "Do what you want." So they said, "We're still trying to go ahead with it." But when they've spoke to the solicitors and Brenton and that, I went, "I'll sue you, Brenton, if you put my book out. It's my book with my name on it." So you haven't got a contract and nothing. It's the same as the audio book. You had no right to do the audio book without my name in it. They went out and did that audio. I've got a thing off him here. Sean Atwood said he was look out for it before, ages ago. But Sean Atwood doesn't even know this. I've got a text off Rob Brenton saying, "Oh, the reason why you haven't been paid is because my Amazon Kindle account's been frozen. So he's supposed to pay me every 6 months, but your next payment will be in 6 months' time." So he hasn't been paying me. He hasn't paid me a penny. So all that time that book's been out, worked out. That book's been out about 2.5 years. We haven't been paid. And neither has anyone else who's got audio books out with him. I don't think there's many got audio books, but they haven't been paid. He just ripped everyone. Gary Fairby said the same. He said, "I've done the book with a bastard. He hasn't paid me." His words, Gary's. So everyone's a liar apart from you. So why am I making these things up when everyone said them? Papa, how you doing, son? Tommy Robinson, are you son? So we've been found wanted. No one wants to know him, and no one ever is going to do a book with him again. And if you do a book with him, just rip it off, guys. He's a con man, but his boss shut down the shop now, so they're going to have to reopen it and do another shop somewhere else. I don't think they'll write any more books. He's put a post on the other day. He's going to write 100 books. No, you're not, Jamie. It's delusional. And when people get their book back, them books won't be classed as yours because they'll be taken down. People can change the format on the front, put a few pages, change it to a different name. So you will not be known for writing any books. You'll be known. The man who wrote books and got took off you. You've been taxed. Well and truly taxed now. And when the HMC customs hit you, oh, you're fucked. You've been doing these books, bragging about them on the internet, how many you've sold. Then you go to the door, signing on the door, and telling the door you work as a tea boy for Rob Brenton and Pontefract, 3 Ballinggate Pontefract, when you don't. It's all lies. So now they're going to be on you as well. They'll go to do the due diligence because they'll want it's the king's money you've robbed, not just our money. You've robbed the king now. They want the offer. Whatever money you owe, you'll have to pay every penny. And if you pay it, then you have to pay tax on top of that as well. And your wife will get the sack. It'll go on the papers. You'll be embarrassed all over. That's why you shite yourself. And that's why you've moved, because you know. And that's why you've moved, because you've got no money. You've got no money to pay your mortgage. You haven't got nothing. So you've got the place to give you a safe house. And think, well, I'll get this for now. Free house. That's what you do. You've moved 9 times now in 12 years. So where are you going to go again? So it looks like you've done it again. I think they might have moved you again myself. Because you haven't been heard of. Apart from your stupid posts you keep putting under War Cry Publishing, War Cry Press. Just checking companies out. Anyone wouldn't believe me. Checking companies out, they don't exist. And if they don't exist, they're not an entity, then they're not a company. If they're not a company, they're not paying tax. They're not paying tax. Then the Inland Revenue, the HMC Customs, and the I can't call the other one now. There's other company who get involved. Can't remember the name of it now. But yeah, so 181 on, thingy 106 on, 81 thumbs up. Don't forget to push the like buttons. You get the magic number, the 100. Not bad, Johnny Deers. Glued to his head, chip pan head. Just look for a man with chip pan fat on his head. You'll notice him, and shit just coming out of his mouth. You'll see him a mile away. He's on the bus. I'm the best author ever. I'm the greatest author. Okay, now delusional. That's how he's going to get sectioned. He'll definitely get sectioned when they put him in front of a judge. They do get him in front of a judge. He'll definitely get a psychological evaluation. That's what it's called, and he'll know he's mentally ill. I mean, I don't know anyone who's the whole family's through out the house. I don't know anyone. Even the son can't go to the granddads and out and off, and won't let him go. Strangest family I've ever met in my life. Like weirdos, like the fucking Rose West and Fred West. I like them. Probably he's got them on. Rose West, the best mum in the world. He put them one day. And Fred West, the best dad in the world. He's got Jimmy Savile on. He's telling the story on the Jimmy O show. Paul Sykes used to be a minder for Jimmy Savile. They used to go to Scarborough, and when they went to Scarborough, they used to go to this house, Dennis Fletcher the Cotton, who used to work for the BBC. We all know what the fucking BBC are like, Savile and all the others. And then he used to go with Delroy Showers, I think it was, and another one. And he used to do security for them. And he used to do debt collecting for them. And they used to go to this big house in the country where he had. And they used to have orgies in there and everything. He was telling us the story on the Jimmy O show. And they'd have kids dressed up with school kids and all that, with like school uniforms and all that stuff. And they'd video them all in there. And then he would pay them to do these certain things. He's supposed to be trying to be actors, though, and they would say, "Oh, we'll get you a job as an actor." And they'd doing pornos and fill them for the drugs and stuff. And they used to do that on the weekend. So Jimmy O said, "Well, it didn't take a rocket science to work out what they were doing in that house." And he come across with all the sordid details. And he said, "Oh, when I did the book on Paul Sykes," he said, his sister told me, she said that I wanted a normal brother, not the evil monster that used to come in my bedroom every night and rape me. So he was raping his own sister, and he still went ahead with that book. Now, if that was being any use on here and you heard that, you think, that's it, I'm finished with him, I'm not fucking doing it. But it wasn't about the sexual crimes and all the paedophilia he'd done. It was about money for you, Doyle. It was all about money. It's all you think of. It's all about money for you and piggy eyes. He's not bothered. He'd help anyone just to get money. Not bothered. He did it for years. When Carol Edwards stood up to you, she started on them, bullying them, the Duffy family for years. You bullied them for about 6 years. You've done it to Dale Brendan Hyde, you bully everyone. Then when it's come back on you, you start making statements on people because you can't handle the truth. Then you start taking channels down and everything else. But the thing is, it's not going to paper over the cracks. Everyone knows what you are. You're a complete crackhead, drug-headed, and you're a compulsive liar. You can't stop telling lies. You're not at court, you said 2.5 years ago. Then you went 2.5 years ago, we went to court and we won the court cases. You weren't at court, you said. Then there's no court cases. You just can't stop telling lies because you can't remember from one day to another. That's why you slip up. Where's this Paul Sykes movie then? We're still waiting for it. Where's this Ripper tour? You went to London for the weekend. You went down there, you went on a 1-hour Ripper tour and you solved a fucking 144-year-old murder. Jack the Ripper's from Middlesbrough. Whereabouts in Middlesbrough is he from? You might have relations. Fucking Jack the Ripper's from Middlesbrough. You just fucking balmy, you are. Right, I'm going to go, guys, because I've been on over 2 hours. My legs are killing me, and I've had a good night tonight. So I'll see you again soon, and thank you very much. God bless you all. Had a good laugh there tonight.